That's some saucy office train lady. I'm gonna retweet that shit.
Oh, hey, I've got a notification. I wonder who it's from. That's a perfect way to encapsulate a new episode of What's Up. Oh, that's something I'm going to retweet. I'm like, hold on, I have a notification. Hi, everybody. Welcome to What's Up. Before I forget, I will make sure to put my mic on. It's a little low this week. Oh, let me tighten that back up. As I was saying, I was going to really quick remember to thank our patrons like Go Comics, Qua, Jeremy Vasquez, Kylie Den, Nestor Flores, Soda's on 0424, and Video Gamer 75. And if they like what we do and want to see us do more, you should consider supporting us on Patreon, like they do, and lots of other patrons. Just got a new gold patron today. We're over 300 buckaroos.
Oh my!
Yeah. So, thanks for your support as always, everybody. Welcome to What's Up. Lucky, do you have a thing to make noise?
No, I do not. Unfortunately, I've been running around.
That's okay. Spiritually, I am lazy, so I haven't made it yet. But I know what the thumbnail's going to be.
There, I made it verbally. I hope that was pleasant.
And it's really relevant. So you're on a story about the PlayStation Network, but other than that, we probably need to decide an order of operations. But go ahead and finish that out for the audience.
Oh, okay. So, as both of you know, not both of you, as everyone knows who is listening here, who knows, it could only be two people, I don't fucking know. Both me and Omega are playing hell amounts of Death Stranding right now, and it's a quote unquote social game. And occasionally, I run into fucking people, and I see their icons, and I'm just all like, "What is this even?"
Yeah, most people, if I may briefly interject, I see have either Death Stranding icons or have generic icons.
Yeah, so I'm looking through icons, and I see someone who has a motherfucking MASH icon, and I was all like, hold the fuck up. Where did you, and I was all like, and that's when the brain started immediately clicking. I was all like, wait a minute, FGO on the PS4. PS4 has VR. Fate Grand Order VR featuring MASH Cure Light is free. Could they also have free avatars? And this sent me on a wild chase through the PlayStation Store looking for it. And I found it. Apparently, yeah. If you're on the PlayStation and you go to the PlayStation Store, if you look under the entry for Fate Grand Order VR with MASH, they actually have some extra things where you can get an icon of MASH or an icon of Artoria from the Artoria VR. I don't know if the Artoria VR is included in it, but it's there. And it also has a static theme. It's nothing super fancy. It just has an adorable Artoria background for you. And I'm all like, no, this is what I needed in life. This is excellent. So immediately I'm all like, well, I need to share this with people, especially Camper, because he is fucking all about that Britain.
And he also only recently got a PS4.
Yeah, so he's probably he probably did not know. And I was like, he'd probably appreciate this. But that fucker, I go and say, Camper, you here, bro? And it's all like, oh, I got something to show you on the PS4. It's like, oh, I just turned it off. I just got being done Fallen Order. Let me give you my thoughts. I was like, but Britain. So, but eventually he did get the idea that there is free Artoria on the PS4, and he completely lost his mind. I will pay everything for this. He was like, oh my god, it's free. There is a god. And I was like, Keck. It was a good time. It was a real good time. Baka, where the fuck did you put your goddamn Enterprise? Well, maybe it's just
Lucky is hunting something for a completely different conversation.
It is. I am multi-topic drifting here.
Well, so speaking of multi-topics, obviously, once again, we're going to talk more about Death Stranding today.
Yeah,
but this is probably going to be a little bit more plot-focused. Though not final spoileries, because I don't think either of us is anywhere near ready for that. But it's going to be more plot-related, because last time we basically played 2 days and been like, okay, we got through the first hour of cutscenes, then mostly we delivered packages.
Yeah.
Now we've delivered a lot more packages, but there have been a lot more cutscenes. I don't know if they've been hours or not. But basically my question is, do we want to get that all out of the way now, and our listeners who are not as far in Death Stranding are just going to have to suck it up? Or do we want to maybe move through a couple of other topics first, and then put Death Stranding more towards the end?
Do we have anyone listening right now
Yeah, we got some lies.
We have Axe and we have Panda. Do you guys have any preference? Do you want Death Stranding talks now, or do you want Death Stranding talks
Okay,
later?
Axe, are you gonna make me fucking timestamps? Is the answer to that question? I don't think Axe cares.
Panda says probably later. All right, yeah, let us postpone the talk.
All right, we'll push it off for a little bit.
Yeah,
so, okay, then there's a couple of other things to get through.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's see. Where's a good one to start? Hopefully Lucky hasn't got another chapter ahead of me, but he might have. I'm still in 5.
5 is Mama, right?
Yes, 5 is Mama.
Yeah, I still have that.
You have not gotten another intro. I was quite surprised when we went from 4 to 5 very fast.
We did.
Did the game expect me to fuck off for a while?
Well, considering I did actually fuck off for a while, so...
Okay, that's fair. I didn't, because I was literally right there. I'm like, well, I suppose. I'm glad I didn't, because she gave me zip lines. Well, yeah, that's pretty typical for Kojima. Honestly, if they get much shorter than 4 to 5, that's saying something, because I think 4 is literally just a boss fight. But we'll talk about all that later.
Mm.
So I guess the order of operations is slightly different here. But so let's see. Last week I hadn't even watched My Hero yet, so we've got 2 weeks of that to go through. But hey, the story arc finally started.
Oh yeah,
and yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, I've been kind of low key, but this is actually one of my favorite moments because it actually this week's episode, I should say in particular, because this is when we start getting this. My favorite, one of my favorite characters in the series is Kirishima.
We finally get that's the thing I think a lot of people say about My Hero is that eventually the author gets to focus on a lot of the supporting characters you like, and Kirishima is one of those characters who is important because he's bros with Bakugo and he's always around.
Yeah.
But he even has this excuse in character. He's like, I'm not really flashy, guys. I just get really hard and am tough.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's right that he doesn't stand out on his own a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the episode's really cool because it's mostly about him, but also there's a lot of plot in it. But no, last week everybody the next time on gave it away that they'd have to let Eri go, but I was not expecting that to be literally credits end. Hey, BT Dubs, it's this scene. I'm like, wow, okay, no breaks. And I think that's going to be the general tone of this story arc throughout.
Oh yeah. As I said, they're immediately going yes, we are going to make a plan, and you're like, oh boy.
Yeah, so without talking too much about the details, because now some of this stuff is spoilery, but just in general, I feel like it's like a roller coaster. This is all just. It was a little slow. They put you on a little bit of a long straightaway with basically the filler episode in the first one, and kind of the spacing it out. But now we're in the rising tension, and it's gonna, I assume, just keep spiking up for a little bit, and then it's gonna hopefully come all crashing down to one big rush, which will be great. And I'm on the one hand, though, I guess we could be kind of glad they're not going too whole hog, because it is my understanding that because they're doing a second movie right now, that they've taken a lot of animators off the show to do the movie, a lot of the technical staff, so I'm okay if we don't rush into any action scenes that might exist until you get the full staff back, because animation in My Hero is really, really good. I don't want them to bollocks it up because, I don't know, somebody was too cheap to hire an extra set of animators.
Oh yeah, that opening last week, the opening animation with the fight between the two villains, and there was a lot of extra frames in there. It's like, ooh. Extra
frames are good.
Yeah.
Though we talked about this with some people. Apparently, some people are being uncharitable to the Azure Lane anime, and I talked about it's there's keyframes and then there's tweeners.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's like if you take a screen cap of somebody talking, they don't look good because they're in the middle of motion and you've frozen it.
Actually, that's something. Actually, well, it wasn't about the tweeners, but I did just take retweeted something about what each frame per second, how many frames per second an object looks. Let me show it to our Patreons here, so people can understand. Well, fuck it. I guess Bakugo isn't getting. Oh god, this guy has 1,695 photos and videos. I don't know if I'm gonna fucking find.
Tweets.
That's a lot of media.
It exists. Look for it on your own.
Yeah, but Bakugo, who we were talking about in gacha games, is a guy who does really awesome artwork and has had their artwork featured on the loading screen and whatnot, and likes to do Azure Lane Ship Girl fan designs, which are pretty baller, and I like to share because they're baller.
What specific one was the one that he just did?
It was an Ironblood sub.
Yeah, you 2511.
Yeah, alright, so...
Which I don't know the significance of that one, but it's a great design, so
it's a great design. Yeah. What does the Rollins don't care? Acquire cuteness, or whiteness, or hotness. Where is it?
But yeah, so that's just because somebody made the dumb RTX on, RTX off with Yamashiro, where one shot is a background shot where clearly there's like distress bubbles, she's clearly like in motion, and then the other is like a close-up, which is in more crisp detail, and I'm like, yeah, that happens with people.
Yeah.
If you take images of people mid-speech or whatever, they look dumb. You know, cheap papers do that all the time.
Yeah, but so I just posted in our Patreon chat this lovely post I found of what animation cycles look like when you start adding in frames.
Yeah, you get more and more smooth, and that's with the 4 frames. Is that technically even? I think that's all. That would all be keyframes. That's just there's just motion, and then you start adding in between frames. You get a little motion blur. You get a little smoothness, and then when you get up to the 16 version of the same image that we're looking at, it's very clean and crisp.
Yeah.
So yes, there's a lot of. That's why a lot of the animation in like My Hero is really good in fight scenes, is because they do a lot of that detail. They give a lot of extra frames. They do a lot of highly detailed frames and effects, so everything flows really smooth and looks really crisp. Babylonia probably does the same thing because their fights are all very high res. There's not a lot of like blurred or lost motion. Whereas
but think about,
a lot of people associate cheap filler and like shonen animes that are long running with bad off model stuff because they are in a rush and they are not necessarily giving everything all the frames.
Well, I am in road material hell right now.
I know that feel. I'm trying to.
Oh no, you do not know that feeling. All right, like let me just lay this down on you. I'm over in the north area right now. This road needs a total of 3,525 chiral crystals.
Oh, that is getting a lot.
Okay.
I mean, I know you get some big deposits. I guess because it was trying to get you to kill bosses. Anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that feel already from when it's like 3 or 3.5k metals and ceramics, and I'm just like,
excuse me, sir.
Where am I going to get all of these?
I am looking at 7,650 ceramics total. That's like.
Well, yeah, but anyway,
we'll talk about this later.
I've got like 2 or 3 slots left to complete the fucking highway to South Knot, and I'm just like, please, I want to just be able to drive through here. This terrain sucks. Kojima, haven't you heard of buggies? Or ATVs? No, you have, you're just not doing it because you hate me. Anyway, we were talking about anime.
Yeah, sorry. I'm playing Death Stranding right now, by the way, delivering packages. About to go fuck up some BTs and some mules because they have shit.
But yeah, so I don't think there's much else to talk about in anime. Just, you know, My Hero is still doing good. Do you have any shows you've been following?
Well, I guess I'll out myself. There's an anime I've been watching. It's called Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun. And I want to put it on the level of a tune back in the day. Like, I don't know, like, how any other way to explain that feel. It's like, it's kind of like shonen fare, but it's like, it's something you would kind of maybe see aimed more at, like, 10 to 14-year-olds, I guess. You know, like, I don't know, it's, you know, it got that kind of, you know, upbeat flair, dramatic kind of music. You know, things are, like, you know, almost comedically, serious sometimes, but other times it's just kind of floaty. I don't know, I'm using weird descriptors for this anime, but whatever. But I like it. It's like one of those things. I'm like, no, I like this. It's the anime is about basically a kid, a 14-year-old named Iruma, whose life just fucking sucks. His parents are so shit that they literally sold him to a demon, and the demon was all like, "I bought you so you can be my grandson," and I'm just like, what? And this demon, who's like literally one of the strongest demons in like the demon world, literally bought him so he could have a grandson, so he can spoil him, and he does. Like, gives him like this luxurious room, presents, gives him a whole bunch of food, and you know, sends him off to demon school. It's just the fact that he's a human going to demon schools, where you know demons eat humans. Well, supposedly. Because apparently humans are a mythical, magical, imaginary creature down in Demon Land. So, it's him, going to demon school with his grandfather, who is the school principal, who's a complete and utter dork, which is kind of great, but also, this terrifyingly strong demon. He makes friends with demons, and it's just a good, wholesome time. And just like in the past couple episodes, they introduced one of my new favorite waifus, Amari, who is the student council president with big boobs, long legs, like to kick people, and is kind of tsundere. So I'm all like, this hits all the checkboxes. It's good. I can't wait for fucking cute, sexy robots to draw her. He probably is, or her. I don't know them. The existence that they are.
CSR. Yeah. I think you made some tweets that affects lately, but also that did remind me while I was scrolling up. Anime NYC was recently. They have announced there's going to be a second season of Megalobox.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of excited for that. It says
that's going to be rad.
Yeah, they said it's going to take place 7 years later. I think they said
5 or 7 or something like that. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's going to be a thing, and I'm like, that's really cool.
Yeah, I was actually kind of worried because I kind of felt like Megalobox was kind of a niche anime for people. For people.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it was an homage to an iconic anime series.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know if we especially over here in the West. I don't know if that I don't know if it was
Yeah, actually, I think that's a good metaphor. It was like an indie film of anime series. It was
it was definitely an homage to something, but it was still something unique and kind of maybe like an outlier in what we commonly see today. I don't know. I can't really say that now, but back then, I don't think sci-fi was I don't know. It was definitely strange, but I'm happy. I'm happy for it.
Especially I don't know. I think it had very distinct aesthetics, but I don't know. Like, a lot of people who watched it liked it, but I don't know necessarily if a lot of people were watching it.
Yeah. Oh god, that reminds me. I watched something really super fucking trippy on Netflix not too long ago. But yeah, so Megalobox is coming back for a second season. Was there anything else announced at Anime NYC?
Not that I've seen personally, but
okay.
I don't know. Maybe I don't follow the right Twitter accounts. Oh, so actually, this I did have a linguistic curiosity. Since you actually understand a little Japanese, what word are they using for demon in the Demon School series? Is it like, so it is Akuma?
Yeah, it's Akuma. Yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of fucking ways to say a demon or a devil in Japanese.
Yes.
Like, there's yokai, which is usually related to more mythology. I said Akuma.
Also, honestly, I think, once again, that's putting our Western Christianization lens on it. Yokai is not really a demon in the way that we think of it. It's a spookum.
Yeah, it's quite it's a supernatural creature.
Yes, it's a supernatural phenomena. It's not necessarily like not all ghosts are yokai. It's not. Well, it's not necessarily literal demons.
Oh god, what was it? There's there's a difference between the word ghost and the word of spirits. I can't remember the one. It's like Seirei and
the Rei is the actual spirit, but there's a couple different versions.
There's Sorei, and then there's another Rei, which means because there's the spirits of the land or gods and stuff, and there's
I think Yurei is usually what I
Yurei, that's what it was.
And then Onryo is a vengeful ghost, which is like some grudge or Ringu shit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Akuma is I think the closest you can get to actual demon kind in something that we would refer to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because usually I believe that's reserved for Buddhist demons and devils and stuff.
Mm.
But yeah, that was just a cool linguistic note that I wanted to ask about.
Yeah.
Because that is the thing I will say, with Inuyasha, they call yokai demons, and Inuyasha himself is a half-demon, as a hanyo, as a half-breed, but that's probably the best way they could describe it to an English translation, but that's not literal, so I wanted to know what Demon School's angle was.
So Demon School, it's not something I'm gonna just right out recommend you, because it's not with you and your hectic schedule of watching a bunch of shit and doing a bunch of shit. I don't know if you have time for that. Me, when I can't sleep at 3 in the fucking morning, I'm all it's time to watch a fucking anime. That's what I do. That's how I live my life. It's my best life. Oh my god, I can climb on the fucking battery. Can I get on top of the truck?
That would be very handy. Trucks. Don't worry, audience, we're getting there. We're not stalling you for time. We're stalling you because we have a lot of stuff to talk about, but we don't necessarily want to scare anybody off yet.
Yeah. So let's see. Any other anime? So I decided I am gonna give the hero is like overpowered but cautious. Not because of the MC, but because I kind of want to commiserate with the useless goddess. I call her useless goddess not because she actually is useless, it's just she just literally cannot handle the hero, and it's kind of endearing to see. Not to mention that she totally ogles his bod. If you ever hear me go, oh, sexy, or oh, six-pack, I am totally referencing that anime.
Oh, speaking of animes like that, I haven't seen it yet, but I don't know if it's online anywhere, but Konosuba movie came out.
Oh my god, I remember I read I read someone who got so mad calling the movie transphobic.
Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't necessarily going to bring that up, but yes, I've seen that. It's a little dumb.
It's a little dumb.
Kazuma says even in the movie he is for true gender equality. But I'm gonna guess the plot point was that it was a very Japanese thing where it was there is some manner of girl dick scenario, and Kazuma's like, nah, it's not my speed, guys.
Yeah, that's the way I understand it.
Which we haven't seen it. I don't think we've seen it yet, so
I haven't seen it, but like as I said, I read the review because I was all like, I read it because I'm sorry, Lucky is the person who gets caught by clickbait. Like
that said, though, I think Vesper posted this. Apparently, the screenwriter for Pulp Fiction likes it. I'm pretty sure that's legit. I've seen that multiple sources.
That's cool. Like, I'll probably see it when I get a chance. But yeah, so like as I said, like I'm not gonna go like fully into that, but I do like it wasn't just the fact of what the car, but is the person was very, very vitriolic. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
no, and
like
I think in the West that's a little bit more of a hot button issue, though. I think there's some discussion in there that we don't really get into because we're not experts on this.
No, we're not.
We've not prepared our debate notes, but in Japan they have been playing with those gender transgressing tropes a lot longer. Here's an actual historical fun note for you. So there was, I think it was in the Edo period, where you required passes to leave and come into cities.
Yeah.
So hey, the most common way to smuggle a lord, some samurai out of a city? Dress him like a woman. Because politely, it's a lot harder to search those than a man. And so you assume that they are not, yes, it's a little sexist that women weren't necessarily holding the property expected to be frontline fighters, but that's how it was. So, you disguise yourself as a woman and you just walk through and you find the exit. So the Japanese have cultural baggage about this kind of stuff back and forth for a long time.
Yeah.
Which is, as we always like to say, have a little cultural sensitivity, kids. Because, like, on the one hand, yes, sometimes Japan does stuff that is not okay because it's their culture. But other times it's like, you're making this not okay for you personally when it is not a personal attack.
No. But
that's really to say that's a you problem, but I don't necessarily mean it as a dismissive thing in this case, but just like, no, seriously, that's something that's going on with you and how you feel about life. Other people can't control your responses to things. And while other people cannot be assholes, right? There's that level. There's also a level above that where like they're not necessarily responsible for how you take every little thing.
Yeah. Yeah, like I say to people, like you can't tell a person you can't tell a person what can and can't hurt their feelings, but you also can't expect that same person to, actually be held responsible for all of it. Right,
because they can't know then, right?
Yeah.
Like you aren't necessarily to be held responsible for the fact that you can't explain to everybody what will bother you at any given time, but that also means they are not physically capable of knowing. We're not telepathic yet.
Yeah, yet.
So it's interesting. This comes into the whole connections thing with Death Stranding, but we're not quite there yet.
Not quite.
But yeah, so I will be super excited to see the Konosuba movie because apparently it's really good and I fucking love Konosuba. So I'll figure that one out whenever it comes out in some form.
I'm not gonna lie, Lucky just likes thick girls. Okay.
Lucky understands where he stands.
Mm-hmm. I
think that's
am a
everything
filthy
anime
degenerate.
related.
I fly my freak flag.
It says so in your rules.
It does.
But yeah, so I think that's everything anime related I know about lately.
Yeah, let's see here. You probably, knowing you probably haven't finished Princess Principal.
No, I would let you know. I've been cramming Death Stranding hard. I should check what my playtime is. It's not as much as yours, but it's still, for owning it for literally a week, it's probably still pretty up there.
And I know you got something that you just acquired that has things that you want to talk about, so I know you didn't need. But, yeah, if I think of anything anime-related, which I doubt, because I'm playing Death Stranding right now, because that's what I've been doing a lot of, too, I'll interject with an objection.
Okay. Well, then, so basically it's either we could probably talk a couple footnotes about gacha, or we could talk about things of the live-action variety, which you alluded to. Which do you prefer?
Let's see. Let's talk about gacha, I guess.
Okay. So, Azure Lane right now, the rerun ended. Shocking nobody because I was busy with lots of stuff. I didn't actually get all the way through it, but that's okay because I got the one sub just on a rando construction. Go me.
I was able to actually get the was it U47 and whatever the point ladder one was. I can't remember.
I'm still full up, though. I do appreciate they've started slipping me 200 gem increments again. So I'm like, okay, Azure Lane, I'm slightly less upset with you.
But yes, full Iron Blood superiority is going full steam ahead.
They added a recent update so you can do multiple secretaries at once. I'm not really sure for what purpose. Because I don't. Does that only show them all if you do Live 2D, or is there supposed to be like a scrolling thing?
I don't know. I just loaded up a bunch of my Iron Blood ladies.
I loaded up all my literal waifus, which has expanded. It randomly switches between them. Okay, I haven't noticed it yet, but I'm mostly playing at night to do the missions, which is for the event now, because they're doing the Pocky thing, which has a Belfast skin for free at the end.
For free, and it's a good skin. How dare they censor it? How dare?
Lucky you do know that the censoring is just they remove the Pocky logo, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you implying that I wouldn't look into that?
No. I'm making sure you're doing it deliberately. But yeah, so for the audience, hey, in case you didn't know, we're joking about it because it is quote unquote censored, but that's because
basically all they did is in two of the art asses they just removed the word Pocky.
Yeah, and they removed it from some furniture, I think, because Pocky is a registered trademark. Yes, so in America that's a big deal. That means you have to give them royalties or some kind of accreditation. I have no idea what the fuck is going on right now.
None of the fuck.
I don't at all. Anyway, we'll leave that one to stew for a little bit. But yeah, so they removed all the Pocky logos because they had to, because it's a thing and licensing. And they would. I think it's because it's such short notice. This was literally happening in Japan and China maybe a week before us. They probably didn't have enough time to secure any agreements stateside. But still, it's happening. It's pretty low-key, pretty relaxed, so I haven't been playing a whole lot. But I did realize while I was looking through my inventory and stuff after I got some gems, I was like, oh fuck, I got an extra ring. Hold on, well, who has oath skins? Hey, guess who does? It's Takao. So I have 4 secretary slots, and I have 4 brides.
You see, I know this seems kind of, I don't know, selfish of me, but I know that if you oath a girl and they get an oath skin later, you'll get the skin. But I just feel I don't know.
It doesn't feel as satisfying if she can't put her dress on, you know?
Yeah. So I'm just because let's see here. Because like I said, I have a full harem going. I got four ship wives. I have Uygen, Nagato, Kaga, and Akagi, and they all have their wedding dress skins, and all of them are really good.
For me, it's Hood, Enterprise, Uygen, and now Takao. And I know Belfast also does in fact have a skin, but I was like, but she's gonna get a free Pocky skin. I'll do it next time. Because, once again, talking about weird, shallow or weird aesthetic stuff, which we are all about, that I wouldn't want to give a girl a wedding dress and then immediately be like, but no, now you have a special Pocky skin I want you to wear. I'm like, no, that seems rude. Seems... Yeah, so apparently we're talking about Warhammer stuff, but yes.
Nothing against Warhammer, but I don't know Warhammer. I really don't.
I know 40K the most, but also I agree with what you said. It's too fucking expensive. Who would? Have you seen what Games Workshop charges? No.
Like, I'm sorry. Nothing against people who can't afford, paint their models. I've known some people who put a lot of awesome work into doing that stuff. I'm like, I can't do that. I don't have the attention span or the finances for that.
Yeah, it's a thing. But yeah, so... what you call it?
Azulane!
Yeah, so basically it's real casual right now. There's a new Belfast skin. Things are going. They're doing some extra stuff. And we've got some kind of event something coming at the end of the year.
Maybe, I don't know.
And there it is. We were talking with Art in the patron chat. They're not listening right now. But, just, they're chatting about stuff, and I'm like, that's funny. No, I mean, Art isn't. Where I was about to think about,
Yeah, it was the HoloLive collab next. Yeah,
something I've noticed about, about Warhammer fans, about Games Workshop fans, is that most of them complain about how bad Warhammer is. Like, it's a solid 50-50 shot if they play Warhammer, if they are mad about stuff. Oh yes, Panda, that's a good reminder. They have declared, they officially tweeted it today, Warspites Retro is finally coming.
Here comes our second Ultra Rare. Boom. Are you ready for maximum barrage? Because
I mean, I'm a lot more ready because, no offense to any meta players out there, but guess what? My Sandy wasn't fully leveled for her retro the moment it came. I've done good work, but still.
Mine was, but that's because I think Sandy was just one of the few fucking SR Eagle cruisers I had for when I had an Eagle fleet before I decided to become a filthy Axis lover.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. But yeah, so I got her.
Warspite has been a crux of my royal team for a while. She goes in the back. Do I have all battleships right now, or at least all reds? I might.
I go full Axis because I have both a Bismarck and a Tirpitz.
I have a fleet for that too. I got lots of stuff. It's fun. They gave us 6 fleets now, so
yeah.
The only one that makes me sad is I can't build a full French fleet. Not even if I combine the two.
I did find that weird. They literally give you enough.
Yes, they gave you exactly enough Italian and Sardinia.
Yeah,
which I did. But I got literally 6. I managed to squeak all of them out.
Our Azurline Senpai One Fat Panda also says that Priority Ships 2 has been teased. Like maybe
not like outright. It's coming, but like maybe we're going to do that soon. TM.
Yeah, which means Frederick the Great, Gascon. How do you say it?
I believe that's Gascon.
Gascon. And those are the 2 big ones that I want. I'm all like, yas. And I know it's pronounced like that, but it literally translates to Frederick the Great. So I'm just gonna go with that, so I don't butcher the actual words.
It's that weird SB sound.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's Azure Lane. They're doing stuff as always.
I gotta admit, Girls Frontline, I haven't been logging in recently. I think it might be time for me to retire that. Like, I don't know.
Well, Singularity's about to come up, though you've missed some things now because there was a login event for that.
Yeah, you see.
I don't know. If you feel like you're not getting out of it, that's fine. I'm still in there. I enjoyed the Halloween thing while it was happening.
Yeah, I did some of the Halloween event. Like I got through the story and I was like, okay, that was cool. But I haven't completed I haven't caught up on the story. I haven't been keeping up on it. I think the thing that's killing me is I keep seeing these skins I can't get. And I'm like, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, it's a little sad. So that was the other thing, was just that we're leading up to Singularity. We're doing a big thing. We're gonna get neural mods for some story girls and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which, hey, I can actually use because the way actually doing neural mods works, which is it's kind of like we said. It's kind of like how you do retrofits or other stuff in or strengthenings in an FGO, but you have to be max level and before you can even start which is a shame. Not even AL does that. If a ship has a retro, you can get started right away. You just can only go through a couple nodes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's going to be some interesting stuff for the Singularity update, which is in a few days. All the extra UI and stuff is okay. But also, they are announcing a new costume series, which I am incensed at, because how dare.
Is. How dare you give something so awesome and yet make me have to roll randomly for it? Did this game fucking steal Raita art? That looks like Raita art.
But yeah, so there's...
Sorry, I'm browsing the internet, and you know how, like, you'll get those ads, you know, like...
Those cheap knockoff ads? Yes.
Yeah. I'm seeing this art, I'm like, that looks like a Raita design.
Entirely possible.
Yeah, no, I won't share it. But yeah, so the latest like skin package for Girls Frontline is like this fantasy Dungeons and
Dragons. Yeah, it's like dark fantasy themed.
And it's so
there's
good.
A contender skin in there. There's Sposs 12 as like, you know, the fighter. And I'm just like, oh, guys, why you gotta hurt me like this? It's a fucking IDW skin as the dick ass thief, no less.
I am, after fucking playing the Valhalla collab, I like IDW a lot more, actually. Even though she's still fucking, like, only, like, level 30 or something.
No.
It's
super annoying.
Mm.
But that's not her fault.
No, it's not.
But alright, yeah, that's those things. They continue to truck on. Arknights is coming out in English officially. There are a lot of pre-reg, but apparently it's tower defense, and I'm like, I don't love that much.
I might try it. I might.
Yeah, you know. I know a lot of people are excited because there are dude designs in this too. But also, I'm just like, I mean, the art style is great, but I don't really love tower defense games that much. So I'm like, I give it a pass. I'll look at art on the internet.
Like, I don't know. It depends on what kind of, like, tower defense is it. You know, do I, like... I guess I'd have to do some research on it. But I'm not, like, the thing that I hate most about games is when it's like, where there's no progression of, like, abilities or stats or whatever, where it's just the same static thing over and over again. I don't like that. I really don't. I always want, like, some sort of progression to my character's abilities, stats, you know, functions in some manner. Like here in Death Stranding, it's like I'm always unlocking new equipment and, you know, getting stat boosts and stuff. I'm all like, this is my jam. Let me find all the fucking preppers. But, like, a lot of tower defenses, alright, you have these towers. Now, just keep using these same towers and just different fucking maps. I'm all like, but where's the progression?
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
yeah, so I gotta look into
I'm assuming because it is also a gacha type game that the progression is like units and stuff, but I don't know. I haven't done any research. I just remember people being super excited about it, and then some people being disappointed that it's not technically it's worldwide, but it's not really worldwide. Probably because those people are in Europe and they've got a thing right now with the gachas and the gamblins. Anyway, so that's all about that. So I think I'll take a quick intermission and then I'll go talk about that other thing.
Alrighty.
Be good. Okay, we're back. For you, it was nothing, but for us, it was
an eternity.
Yeah, that thing we always say. But yes, so, well, I said I was going to talk about some live-action stuff, and people can probably guess what it is, but... So, this thing called Disney Plus came out, and while I am everybody should know, I'm a little cautious spending money, I should say. Especially since recently I also locked in my pre-order for Cyberpunk 2077, because Amazon was like, yo dude, $50. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get it before the price changes. Because Amazon has that whole pre-order guarantee. They'll lock you in the price when you pre-order it, and if it goes lower, they won't bill you as much. So, I'm like, but I decided for a couple of fold reasons. One was that it was launching with The Mandalorian, and I was like, you know, I saw some early image stuff, and I'm like, yeah, man, I think I need to see that. But also, I was thinking about catching up on all my MCU movies because, fuck, man, it's taken me a while. So yeah, I'm up with Disney Plus right now, and I'm in there for some future stuff. If I ever wanted to go on a nostalgia trip, they've got that's one of the number one things I think they're banking on is children's / nostalgia stuff, because they got a lot of classic films. And they got a lot of old-ass Disney Channel original movies. So if anybody ever wants to watch Halloween Town, or, fuck, there were some other ones. I can't think of them off the top of my head. I mean, there's stuff like High School Musical, but also they're making that into a premium TV series, so that's not a big spoiler, but they got a lot of stuff in there. But also, they've got their robust Star Wars collection. So they've got, all of Rebels, all of the Clone Wars, all movies, obviously. Except maybe they might not have The Last Jedi in Solo yet because they might have exclusive contracts. There's a couple of newer movies that are still in contract that they haven't released yet. But they've also got some of the newest stuff. So, first off, I'll say really quick that I finally got to see Avengers Endgame, which, believe it or not, was a little bit of a thing to rig because I had to carve out 3 hours for that one. Though it was good. It was like 3 movies in one. So, that was pretty satisfactory to finally get that out of the way. I managed to avoid being truly spoiled about it, so most of the plot details were a surprise to me. So I'm glad. That was pretty good. I think it's a very good send off for for 10 years of 22 movies, right? It's definitely the closing chapter of a whole sequence that began with Iron Man, which is it is an impressive testament to filmmaking. And they also have Captain Marvel, but I decided not to watch that one first, and I'm still not sure I'll watch it yet, because I gotta be honest, Captain Marvel was kind of boring in Avengers Endgame. She mostly exists to glow and blow stuff up. Does she have a character arc? I don't think so. But yeah, so we'll see about that. They got some other movies in there. Sadly, I don't think they have Spider-Man, because that's a Sony joint, so. But the big deal, obviously, is The Mandalorian.
Oh, sorry. No, I didn't say anything. I'm letting you talk.
All right,
like
I was just double checking the audio because Lucky's been breaking up a little for me today, which you guys have probably heard.
Yeah, I haven't watched Endgame either, so I'm like,
that's okay. That's why I'm not like spoiling any details. I'm not gonna do like an in-depth. Just it was a good experience. It was a good 3 hours. I still got to catch up on a couple of other stuff, but it was nice to finally see it. But The Mandalorian. So I gotta be honest. The first thing I want to say is I like the show. Production values are pretty good. The writing's pretty good. I'm a little sore at Disney Plus that they did not Netflix this. They did not film it all and release it all at once. One, because I think the pacing could use it, but also because I want to inject it directly into my veins. But I remember after the first episode came out, a lot of people, apparently people who watch live-action TV and who post about it on the internet haven't heard of the 3-episode rule.
Really?
Because a lot of them were like, oh, the first episode just builds atmosphere, but doesn't really do anything else. I'm like, yeah, it's the first episode. It's like 39 minutes of a 8-10 episode series. Like, it's not full. And I know some people are like, oh, that's short. I'm like, no, dude, I watch anime. I'm used to watching series in bites of 13, 24-minute episodes. So, yeah, no, I'm like, because I watched the first one, and they're right. It's very atmospheric. It is a true space western. The Mandalorian doesn't talk a lot himself. He spends a lot of time in silence, walking through the desert, while dramatic music plays. The score, by the way, excellent. You should look it up if you have time. It's not quite Star Warsy, but it's also not alien to it, so it's got its real own unique feel, which I like a lot. And like I said, it honestly reminds me of the original soundtrack, not the weird retro pieces, but the original soundtrack for Westworld a little bit. But yeah, but I was very shocked to hear a lot of people were kind of on it. I'm like, dude, there's only one episode. But it does give me the honest where I'm like, yeah, Disney, you really should have put out, I know they did 2 in 1 week, but still, they really should have just, for arguably what their premiere show is on their premium streaming service, they should have had it all ready to fly. But I don't know. When you're Disney, I guess you can decide what to do.
I swear, Disney Plus ads have been everywhere, and everyone's all like, watch The Mandalorian. I'm all like, I'm probably not, but this is a good effort, y'all.
No, they're trying, and I think it's been pretty successful. They have a lot of projected signups. I mean, they got me, and I'm like I said earlier, I'm a little bit of a hard customer. Mm-hmm. But yeah, overall though, the series is really good. Some of the CG in a couple of shots has been a little jankier, but that's nothing Star Wars fans aren't used to, and it is still on TV, so it's not full movie budget, and they got a lot of stuff to do. But the action is very good. Most of the prosthetics work on aliens and stuff looks pretty good. What dialogue there is actually pretty witty. I really like the character of the Mandalorian. For having no face, he's pretty good at getting his intention across. The way I want to say it is, is it
nonverbal cues?
No, I was trying to double check his name. It's Pedro Pascal.
Oh.
who was in Game of Thrones, but he was pretty good in that. But he's the Mandalorian. So the way I phrase it is Pedro Pascal is channeling his best Nathan Fillion.
That's a solid way to put it.
He's kind of got that almost a little bit of that Mal-esque delivery, where it's just he's not quite as southern, but he's a little clipped, a little short, very businesslike, just a little bit sassy,
I don't know.
In the second episode, he's negotiating with some Jawas, and one of the characters is like, "You must put down your weapon." He's like, "I'm a Mandalorian. Putting my weapons away is against my religion." I'm like, "Yes,
that's true. Maintain your weapons."
But yeah, so overall, I love the space western. This is much like how I felt about Solo, which was like that I felt was a good attempt to tell a non-standard Star Wars story. Like, obviously it was about characters we knew, but it was, there was a train heist and trench warfare and,
it wasn't all about the Force all the time.
Lots of crime shenanigans and stuff. This is more like, no, dude, he's a bounty hunter. He hunts bounties. He fights some guys. He does some stuff. When he pays back, it's set post Return of the Jedi. So when he goes back, this is not a spoiler. This is in the first episode. When he goes back to his boss, basically to Carl Weathers, giving him the bounties, he's like, "Okay, I can only pay you in full in Imperial credits." And the Mandalorian's like, "Dude, that's not worth anything." And he's like, "I can pay you half in calamari flan." And apparently the Mon Calamari have gelatin coins, which is hilarious. They even make little squidgy noises all the time in the sound effect. It's great. But when he's listing off all the bounties, he's like, because he's got all these little, what they're called tracking fobs. So they have like they're ID chipped or DNA scanner or whatever, but they're like short range trackers for bounties. So he's like holding the fobs and he's listing them all and he's like, "I have a bail jumper, a bail jumper, a bail jumper, a highly wanted smuggler, and a bail jumper." So like it gives you the real, I think, bounty hunter feel. And the Mandalorian plays the straight man a lot. The action scenes are pretty good. There's a very iconic scene with IG-11, who is a bounty hunting / assassin droid. He has some very slick moves. They animated him very well. And in the second episode, there's a sequence with some Jawas, which I just love the Mandalorian for. But yeah, so action is really good. Like I said, some of the CG is a little too obvious, but that's probably because they can't spend 2 years and $50 million or whatever animating like 4 frames like you can on a big budget Star Wars theatrical release. There is a twist at the end of the first episode which I did not necessarily see coming and I loved, and it adds a lot of dimension to the Mandalorian character, but I don't know if I want to. It's such a great twist, even if it's only in the first episode. I don't know if I want to say it.
I don't know. I'm not as big of a Star Wars nerd as you are. I mean, I like Star Wars. I can kind of. I mean,
you would love the Mandalorian because this is a lot like the character you ran for like 2 sessions.
Really?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay,
you are just a professional Mando man. Just like, okay, we're just doing business, guys. Come on.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Then don't spoil me. Then I might have to like. I don't know. Maybe I'll like.
I think if the 4 people can watch Disney Plus, so I can always beam you my login sometime.
Honestly, I probably literally just watched The Mandalorian and be like, all right, cool.
But yeah, so I don't want to give it away, but it's very good, and there's a lot of good work put into that. There's also a lot of interesting commentary on Mandalorian culture. There's a lot of Mandos in the show who don't take off their helmets. There are even Mando children in the first episode, and they're wearing helmets. But also they brought back Beskar, which was in the previous canon, but there is Mandalorians have super high quality steel that is really tough, and the main character Mandalorian is slowly replacing his shitty normal armor with Beskar, which you can tell because it's like unpainted and shiny. He explains that he was a foundling, so he was adopted by the Mandalorian culture. And he's had a couple of flashbacks which hint that basically he's got a thing with droids. He doesn't like droids, and he's done a couple of flashbacks that hint that his birth family was killed in the Clone Wars. Like when he was a small babu, they were killed by probably droids. So there's a lot of character going on in there. And they do a really good job, because the Mandalorian doesn't like to talk about himself, but mostly he makes his character known through either flashbacks or through actions. But honestly, he's got all the fun tools you'd expect, too, out of a Mandalorian. Like, he's got some cool guns, he's got the flamethrower and the whipcord launcher already.
Nice.
He's got his primary rifle is both a shock staff and also a fucking disintegrator.
Oh my.
Yeah, he okay, this is kind of a spoiler, but I don't think it ruins the sequence because you got to see it to believe it. But he comes back after doing his thing in the first episode. In the second episode, it establishes firmly in the canon that Jawas are fucking the trash pandas of space. These motherfuckers. So they roll up on his ship and start taking it apart. His response is to basically non-verbally say, "Oh hell no," and just start disintegrating them. Like, he just lays out 3 or 4 of those guys before they all get back in their sandcrawler and drive off. And he spends a good 5-10 minutes of the second episode chasing them down on foot. But ultimately, he doesn't get his parts back until he has to do some other stuff. So I won't talk about the plot stuff. But no, it's like, Jawas are fuckers. They are. Yeah. It's. Man. They are. Like, they do some tricks. They throw some shit at him. Like, and they're all yelling and chattering, and they say fun stuff. He tries to talk to them in their Jawa language at one point, and they're like, "You speak terrible Jawa." Ah ha 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 ha. At which point, I think that's the point where he tries to set him on fire. I don't remember, but there's a lot of comedy because you didn't know it. Well, you probably knew it because in episode 4 they're kind of fuckers, but Jawas are just assholes.
Yeah, they're scavengers. And by scavengers, I mean, if it's not bolted down, they'll fucking take it.
Yeah.
Even if it's bolted down, they'll fucking take it.
There's a really interesting Ugnaught character who was played by Nick Nolte, who's like, he's it's a space western, so he's almost playing the native or like the homesteader guide. He's the local guy who's like, you're doing a bounty. Here, let me teach you how to ride and get out there, rough terrain. Mm-hmm. He has a verbal tick where whenever he's decided something, he's like, "I have spoken." But he introduces them to the Jawas and stuff. He says the Jawas don't have your concept of ownership. You abandon it, they own it. And he's like, they understand trade. Which to the Mandalorian, you're obviously like, he doesn't really get this trade part. He's like, why can't I just shoot all these guys? But yeah, so I'm super excited to see where this goes because there's a lot of interesting little world building, and like I said, the atmosphere is great, the soundtrack is great, the characters are great. And I think the story is going to be really interesting. So yeah, that's a thumbs up for me. I can't wait to see what they do. Like I said, I wish though they'd gone all out and they'd gone for the full episode spread at launch. But I guess this makes sure they keep people, subscribed for a couple months.
Yeah.
But alright, so that's The Mandalorian. I don't think I've got anything else to talk about there. We're at almost an hour in raw recording time.
Do we want to talk about Tabletop Eclipse Phase at all?
We could. If you want to. You got anything to talk about?
Nah. Well, not so much particularly, but, I have been having, background thoughts and whatnot. And, I don't know if this is kind of the module, but, for a system that, lets you have a lot to do with, your political, economical, philosophical, psychological things. I don't know if they actually necessarily give you the opportunities to actually flex that knowledge or whatnot, or role playing opportunity. Because here's the thing, if you look at the Eclipse Phase source material, there is a lot of stuff. Literally, honestly, I want to say only maybe a fucking quarter of the second edition is actual mechanics and table and stuff, and the rest is just fluff. And
honestly, they really tried to pare down the mechanical sections.
Yeah, make it stream and flow. But then I'm we've been playing, and yeah, we're we're on a fucking, we're trying to get we are kind of. I don't know if this is a group problem. I don't know if it's just maybe the module problem. But it's it doesn't really seem like we have the opportunity to, what do I want to say, express our opinion on the state of where we are, because
I will say a lot of that scenario writing, there's absolutely nothing about Locus in the scenario.
Yeah, so that's what it is. Because here's the thing, my character is a Venusian, basically a hypercore business owner. She's basically she runs circles in the entertainment. She runs she has fingers in black markets and smuggling and stuff. Being out here in a fucking anarchist fucking cluster hab, she might have some fucking thoughts about being here, but at the same time, I'm all no, let's just fucking focus on the mission. Let me go shopping, okay? We do that, we're done. Let's get back to the ship. What? More shopping? Can't we need to fucking corral some goddamn cats here. We actually did have to find a ghost swarm cat. It was fluff.
Yeah, I talk because you can't just spend money to get things in an Anarchist tab. So it was like, okay, so I'm imagining that because you have no rep whatever, this is like the classic chain of deals scenario.
Yeah.
Like a classic RPG subplot.
Yeah, and it was just like, I was like, I don't know. In the moment, I should have thought about it, but like, should my character have been okay with this kind of business deal? I kind of went with flow with it for that, and I also didn't want to cause a scene. But it's like, that's the thing about, role playing characters is sometimes your character just does not agree with a thing, and you're gonna cause a fucking scene. And I'm like, I don't know, like, I think this is like one of the things about, because they said this is a module. What was it called? Glory?
Yeah, this is Glory.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I don't know, like, were you planning on running more modules after this, or did you have something?
I mean, yeah. Whether they're minor or EPs, that's all I got. But I have a couple of my own designs that I would work on. Okay. But yeah, no, I think you're right in that Glory I like because it sets up the tone of a firewall investigation very well. There's a problem here, go here, track down the leads, figure out figure out the extraneous information, because you guys managed to get that this last session. You got the map and stuff, which is good because you wanted it. So
I did want it.
Find out your stuff, get your tactical information, gear up, solve the problem. But at the time, I don't know if it's just because Glory was one of the first things they released. It was originally a companion to the GM screen. Mm-hmm. And they just hadn't written Rimward, so they didn't know necessarily what, other than that Locus existed and was important. I don't know if they didn't know about it yet, but no, you're right. There's not a lot of interaction. The second scenario I'm planning on running, that is written for EP because it is, I kind of want to do the contrast. I want to bounce back to the inner system and go to your stomping grounds on Venus because I think that would be interesting. That one is a little bit more integrated into the kind of politics and ethos of a place. Okay. Because the problem you are solving is actually there, not necessarily, because that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
The problem you guys are solving is not on Locus, it's somewhere else. And arguably Locus is too big for a single scenario byte problem for you guys to solve, Mm-hmm. So I think that was part of the writing, but no, you're right. I feel like they probably tossed it to Locust just because they wanted it to be in that neighborhood, and they were like, this is a perfect excuse for your players to get exposed to some anarchism stuff, but it's also, the primary roadblock is just, do you have @rep? No? Well, fuck you.
Yeah.
That means you're gonna have to do some dirty Black Ops on this guy, and it's like, nah, not really. Though, interesting enough, 1E did not have Truth Serum, and 2E does, so if you guys really wanted to black bag a guy, you have a doctor, you could just dose them up with, I think it's Blab, which gives you a -30 to lie and resist intimidation. Also, I don't know, Axe, if you're doing all right. I will say, before we play next, you should look at the hacking rules, just because I know them now for reasons, and if you want to hack things, you should know what you're doing and what you're gonna want to do at the end. So,
actually, like actual playing, no, you're fine. I think my this is me personal issue is that you tend to tangent or you tend to over-explain things.
Yeah, and that's just those are Axe things where you like to just, and you've said this yourself. Sometimes you like to iterate on a thing, and it's just like, no, we got it. It's okay. We got it. Calm down. Yeah. So other than that, no, you're fine. And I don't even know if that's necessarily a problem, other than that just. Nah. Last session, we had a flow problem. We ended up having to end early, and we didn't get as much accomplished as we wanted, which was just a multitude of things. New system, so we got kind of bogged into it was partly a shopping episode, but mostly it was also just, okay, we have plans to make this stuff. We don't need anybody for them. How do we work this out? And it's like, okay, just total everything up. We'll figure it out. We did have a to-do list, but we did not format it correctly, and also you ghosted while we were discussing it, so
yeah.
I don't think for the sake of the recording, I did not immediately iterate it, and I should have. I should have just sucked it up and made Ron go over it again. Just so we'd establish, because you guys still haven't hit a couple of those points. I can assume you have, but I'll mention it next time we play, because we're not playing this weekend.
Well, this time I actually wrote up a full Google Doc of things we are doing, things we learned, shopping lists, and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's good.
So
yes, that'll be better. And so there was a lot of bouncing around, and it was just like I herded my own cats a couple of times, but there's only so much you can do as a game master when it's like, okay, you guys have to figure this out and tell me what you want right now. And then it's just like, all right, what? Then there's always the eternal question, shit, He wants to know an answer. What do we want? The bane of player characters everywhere. You're like, we're gonna do this and that and the other thing, and I'm like, okay, one thing at a time. What do you want to do first? You're like, fuck, what do we want to do first?
We have options.
Good old paralysis of choice. But no, I think we did okay, and if we'd had 3 hours like we did the first session, it probably would have been better. I don't know if we would. I don't know why we wouldn't have fired if we would have fired through it all, but we could have definitely been 100% ready to start the thing for real.
Yeah,
because that would be like tactical timing. This is going to be you need to get a couple more things out of the way.
Yeah, we still got to go to Casa Arturo and maybe finalize the shopping list. Maybe, but other than that, yeah, I think we're done on we're done on Locust, so we're about to head out. But yes, I'm excited because, like I said, I've been looking a little bit, reading into like Venusians and the Morningstar constellation, and they're kind of interesting as far as hypercore fucking. Wow, what do I want to fucking call them?
So Morningstar I've always thought of them as a moderate liberal hyper-capitalist polity.
Yeah.
They are not extremely decentralized like Extropians, who are the ANCAP, the broadly ANCAP faction. But they're also not as centralized as something like the Planetary Consortium, which is like, we're going to take, how they said corporations are people? Well, we're going to turn corporations into a government. We're gonna build an alliance of governments run by corporations.
Yeah.
And we bought out Mars wholesale.
Yeah.
Which, in case you don't know, no, that is what happened. The Planetary Consortium formed their own government basically out of. They do some direct democracy, but the real power is the Hypercorp Council. So they have a literal, board of boards basically of all the different Hypercorps who have shares.
Mm-hmm.
And they literally roped in Mars because they got the terraforming office elected to they basically had them incorporate and added them to the council. So they gave them a chunk of voting share, and then they were like, okay, you're welcome to the team now. Which a lot of the local Martians don't like, because before that, Mars was very decentralized. There was like a couple of different colonial efforts from like Mars, India, and America, but there were a lot of literal nomads who just live in the backcountry of Mars and are like
motherfucking rusters.
And now sometimes hypercorps displace them because they're like, no, you see, for terraforming, we really need to put an ocean in your backyard. And you're like, but I don't want an ocean in my backyard. Too bad, gonna be beachfront property in 400 years. BT Dubs, you don't own the property anymore. We're gonna put a resort here.
Yeah, so...
And it's a small wonder that characters like Ron's character Locust exist with his heavy bomb fixation.
Yeah, but Morningstar Collective, they're still kind of hypercore government, but just not to the same extremes. Not to mention that generally, if you're a citizen of the Morningstar constellation, you have a pretty okay thing going on. All citizens are, getting going on, but the only reason that the Morningstar constellation was because it was a literal fucking fluke, because they were originally part of the planetary the PC, but thanks to some crazy ass voiding and I like how the book put it, some data analysts being asleep even though they're in fucking hibernoids or whatever it is, they were able to pass something that gave them independence. And so now they're all stuck out on Venus, which is a terraforming nightmare. And
hey guys, in case you haven't looked up what conditions are like on the surface of Venus anytime soon, it's like hell.
Yeah.
It's super hot and super acidic and super poisonous.
Yeah. And so now, the Morningstar constellation, the Venusians, are basically trying to fight off the Planetary Consortium from coming in and just swooping on their land, because that's what they fucking do, while also fighting amongst each other while they try to decide how the fuck are we going to deal with this terraforming issue.
Right, because Venus has a split policy. It's somewhat aerial terraforming because on Venus you don't live on the surface because there's so much atmospheric density. They have floating cities, aerostats, which literally float in the sky, and they have a very unique culture. Now, you could terraform Venus to be Earth-like. It's about Earth's size, so all you have to do is basically reverse the greenhouse effect, and it would be a slightly warmer, wetter Earth. Well, probably not wetter right away, because you'd have to import all the fucking water, but you know what I mean.
Just drop some ice asteroids, it'd be fine.
But that would ruin the atmospheric density problem, which, allows the flying cities, so people are torn.
Yeah.
The consortium probably wanted to do surface terraforming because that's what they're doing on Mars. They want to create a second home, basically. Because, according to the Planetary Consortium, Earth is fucked. We don't go there anymore.
Yeah. So we need new land to put all our warehouses and keep our shit.
And we need to sell you the land so you can put a suburban home on it.
And then give us taxes. Also, please make sure you buy your regulated Planetary Consortium goods.
Yeah, the Planet Consortium's fun. Well, I said this before, that I like about Eclipse Phase that nobody is 100% wrong.
No.
Because the Planetary Consortium's ideas of being like, yo, transhumans need a home, and also we need to expand to every corner of this fucking galaxy so we can't get apocalypsed again. Not terrible, but they're also a rampant capitalist society, corporate state, so...
Yeah, it's... Just think of it as hyper-aggressive corporate takeovers all the fucking time.
Yeah, so hypercorps are... They're not megacorps anymore. We're past that. Nope. This is a modern take on that idea. It's not monolithic corporations who, own everything from the top down. It's very, very rich, very small, very fast and nimble corporations where most of their workforce from, middle management down are all contractors. Everything is, task-based, super streamlined, through network connectivity. And so they're flexible as hell, and they are omnipresent, not because they're literally omnipresent, but because they can pay a guy and have a team there or a consultant wherever they need them. And they have privatized everything. Literally, there is a hypercorp called Stellar Intelligence. They are made up of the CIA, FBI, and those kinds of guys who don't have jobs anymore, and they literally sell intelligence services. They're halfway between a private detective agency and full-blown just CIA for hire, which is, hilarious. And also there's some black budget guys in the Planetary Consortium. We don't talk about them.
No, don't talk about them.
We don't talk about Project Ozma.
Nope.
First rule of Project Ozma, don't talk about Project Ozma.
Yeah, so, no, because you did mention that, might be going back to Venus, because as my character, who I changed her codename to Vespa for Kex, because our Martian freedom fighter is named Locust, so it was kind of a play on that. But, I've mentioned, several times that once this mission is over, we're all ego-casting back to Venus, and I'm throwing a fucking party.
And you guys can get some mental healing out of that. Move off some of that stress.
Mm-hmm. And then Omega was like, hey, that might be a good spring. And I was like, oh, cool. But then I was like, if we're going to be on Venus, it's I should probably actually think about what my character's takes on certain thing is. Because, as I said, she is big dick swinging with money. And that means she has, she's professional. I changed some of her knowledges around. But she has, knowledge in, in economics and entertainment now. So the way I'm seeing her now is that she basically does a lot, runs a lot of entertainment businesses or whatnot. So bars, clubs, hosts, everything like that. But she's going to eventually, to, consolidate more fucking power. She's going to start getting into fucking terraforming and habitat design because that's where the big fucking issues are. So, I'm making plans for that. And Omega was all like, oh, you should probably think about, what side you are on that. And I was all like, huh. Because, again, this brings me back to, actually, yeah, Eclipse Phase has just a lot of already set-in knowledge that, characters should think about. This is why I feel honestly, Eclipse Phase shouldn't be someone's first tabletop. I don't know, other people may think differently, but, not everyone can just go, into a deep, and get, super into their character and go, what would my character think about this? What would my character think about that?
And honestly, I think you could. The problem is you just have to get them to actually read the fucking manual.
Yeah, it's a big manual, too.
Because that's why there is all that detail, and there is a lot of talk about future concepts that people need to be like, yo, we need to teach you about anarchism, because otherwise you're not going to understand, and that's bad. But, I don't know, I would agree that it's probably not best for, they've definitely streamlined the system.
Oh yeah, they definitely did. It makes it easier for someone to jump into, but...
There are some ways of playing, gate-crashing games, that's a lot easier.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
Evil Stargate. Well, they're not literally evil, but you know what I mean.
Whatever's on it may not be evil, but it still fuck you up.
And I do have a gate crashing scenario I want to test with you guys at some point. We'll run through that one maybe. I also have an Earth scenario, but I'm not. I feel like I want to let you guys get some res points under your belts and maybe find some good shit before we do that one, because that's being on Earth is even more hardcore than gate crashing sometimes, because it's like, okay, so not only are you disconnected from all the networks and all the people and bullshit, but also the terrain actively hates you. Also, have you ever loved Earth? Have you been here before? You might constantly have to deal with the stress because, oh man, this sucks. This is your post-apocalyptic home. So yeah,
so it's like I'm gearing up to I say this because I'm gearing up to be playing Vespa hopefully for a long time.
Yeah, and I haven't been writing them lately, but I've got a couple of scenarios of my own design even further in the wings too to work on that I will probably eventually get through all this stuff.
Yeah. I forget, for every mission gives you gear points that you can spend, pre-mission, or
yes, you've got a pre-mission budget, yeah.
Okay.
I gave you guys the full 20 this time because I was like, that's good, but I figured that, depending on later missions, that might be more or less, for priority.
As I said, the
game also has just acquisition and downtime.
Oh, yeah.
About some stuff, which is really, really interesting. Though sometimes a little frustrating. They're like, you can't spend more than 1 res point per week learning skills. So I'm like, okay, that's a little slow. You can only get 5 points in a skill per week.
Wait, so if you basically spend a point of res, you have to take a week learning the skill?
Well, yeah, that's the downtime. You can only spend res in downtime, and you spend it basically. The time frame for skills is you spend it if you have a week of downtime. You improve a skill by 5, but you can only improve 1 skill per week. So even if you've got 3 points of res, if you only have 1 week of downtime, you can only spend 1 point and get 1 skill up. And I'm like, that's kind of rough. I might massage that between scenarios because I don't know how much time you have. Yes, if you were playing a longer form campaign and there was lots of space travel in it, because even ego casting can take you basically hours in brain customs. It's like the TSA, but for your brain.
Ta-da! Are you infected with anything? Are you a wanted criminal?
Stuff of that nature. No, and no. Okay, good. Just connect you to your body right now. Then you gotta. I don't know how bad it is in 2E because we haven't come to any receiving, but it's in 1E there was definitely a good 12 to 24 hour adjustment period, even if you were good at resleeving. Yeah. It was like, okay, you feel a little shitty and you need you need a day to adjust. Which I think the one time you guys ego casted in Envoy of the Yellow King, it was like, okay, we're just gonna hop in Healing Vat and we're gonna sleep this off and get some mods installed.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been working at my homebrew stuff.
Oh, nice.
Decently.
Oh, yeah.
Off and on. Yes, Lucky was very happy I made a bowler gun.
Yeah!
It was easier than I thought. I'm kind of surprised there's no effect like the bola or the sticky gun or something already in, because that just seems like a pretty typical sci-fi thing to do, and it's not there. But they have all the rules for
come at me, BT Scrub.
Yeah,
sorry,
there's entangling, knockdown stuff like that. So I put it on there. I found a good rules mix because there is the freezer, but that's freezing foam. You can also do that to create cover and stuff.
Yeah. There's no dedicated capture device. There are things for once you've captured them, cufflinks and prisoner masks and all that stuff, but nothing to actually do
at range anyway.
Yeah.
And also I'm thinking about in future, I think I'm going to take a crack at maybe some toxin stuff. Because Axe had this question as the doctor. He was like, how do I just knock people out? And I'm like, I don't think you do. At least not with the core rules. Because there's a couple of non-lethal stuff, you can make people panic, you can give them twitch to incapacitate them. Let me look at this, because I was actually looking at some drugs recently about some stuff.
Drugs!
Twitch is a non-lethal nerve gas, basically a nerve agent, which incapacitates you with convulsions. Let's see, there's a couple of stuff down here.
It is time for DACA!
Let's see, we can do blab, but that's in an interrogation type drug.
Yeah, it's a social drug, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of miss being on Hither. I kind of miss being on Hither constantly. Hither is just basically I'm fucking sexy and I know it drug, and my character Gecko literally had a drug gland implanted so she can just pump herself full of it all the fucking time. Good times.
I recently did a thing where I ported over a couple of my old drugs to 2E, because 2E's a lot more fun with, like, literally different drugs give you different behavior enhancements, and they just, like, now this is just a trait. Just gives you the trait for a little bit. Fuck it.
I actually like that. The enforced behavior.
Yeah, like, for instance, you have some of this drug. They have a drug now called Stiff, which is a social drug. It gives you plus 10 on checks to resist, persuade, or provoke, and gives you enhanced behavior Stubborn for the duration. So basically, if you don't want to be stubborn, you have to pass a will check. So it's great if you feel like you're going to be in a social situation where people are going to come at you. There's the antidepressant Juice, for instance, which gives you enhanced behavior Happy 3. You are literally incapable of not being happy for like a couple hours, but it gives you a big fucking bonus to resist fear and emotional manipulation, because you are high as a kite on space
positive Prozac. To the max.
So there's a lot of fun stuff like that, and I brought back a couple of our classics. So let me pull up the list. So I have ported over for 2E Deceive, DCV, Disinfect, the study drug Oxford, and also Rainy Day and Shut In. Which, those were especially good for, like, the... I actually decided to phrase Rainy Day as a negative. You gain restricted behavior Happy, too. So it's like...
Didn't I come up... No, I came up with the name Rainy Day, didn't I?
Yeah, I think you did, because we were... Yeah. That was a hypothetical.
Yeah.
That's just the regular... But it's the first thing. So, yeah. Shut In, I think, was also developed by the group, so I linked to the original article, but that one gives you enhanced behavior Introverted and mental disorder Agoraphobia for the duration. It makes you really introspective, kids, but you get some bonuses.
I can't remember the reason why, but yeah, I remember we talked about this, like, for some odd reason.
Because there were some random charts and some random rolling.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, we were randomly rolling. It was like, what is this drug? Yeah, that's what it is. You were rolling, and you're like, what is this? What should we name this drug? And we were like, sounds like a Rainy Day mood, and we're like, that's what we're gonna fucking call it.
Yeah. And then I think DCV was just, I was trying to come up with because there wasn't a drug specifically for deception, and I'm like, I'll fix that. And there still isn't, so I decided to port it over. And DCV gives you plus 10 to deceive checks for the duration, and gives you reduced behavior guilt. You don't feel guilty for the duration. Because that's what it does. It doesn't necessarily make you a better liar, it makes you more relaxed, so you don't have as many tells, and you don't give away that you're lying.
Yep. It's amazing what you can get away with as long as you don't act like you're doing something shady.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so, and I will probably do more, because, like, that's the thing I like to homebrew, is when players or readers are coming to me and they're like, so, how do I do a thing? I'm like, so I could just bullshit you, but I can also acknowledge that the system doesn't do a thing, and basically be like, how would you do a thing? So, now I think I need to come up with some sedatives and some other incapacitating drugs and toxins.
Oh, God, it's just a wasteland of fucking trikes and fucking trucks.
Yeah, so since vehicles started spawning, and I've had a bad time. But that's all the Eclipse Phase stuff. Other than that, I do want to mention, so it's funny, there's a direct quote in page 264 about mesh combat, which I've said I like. I do like mesh combat. I like that that's just a thing you can do now. If you want to deal with troublesome programs, there's no, like, weird side rules. It's like, no, it's an attack roll, you do damage. If you defeat their durability, you crash the program. And it's like, that's a great way to handle this as just less of an abstraction. Like, no, bodies have, cyber bodies or whatever have durability and stuff, and so, like, theoretically an infomorph will reset itself unless you keep attacking it so that it, becomes corrupted, but it's a way to handle digital stuff, which was not previously tangible. But they said that it's an abstraction with no dueling avatars, no digital maneuvering, no deadly programs, and I'm like, that's not very Kino of you. So I'm like, nope. So I wrote a bunch of these. I did 2 because I got really into this.
Yeah, I read it. I was like, oh my God. I was like, we got a little anime, I'm not gonna lie, dude.
Well, I mean, several of these are literally pulled from Ghost in the Shell.
That's
I was able to bring back the attack barrier, which was a thing I wrote for first edition, but I brought it back because it made sense because of the way the system works. And also, Labyrinth is a barrier maze, which is a concept that was in Ghost in the Shell. So, even if you don't want to use the rules, I wrote these to be like a lot of these are like plot points, like a labyrinth or the Oculus. Those are like tasks that your hackers could overcome. Because unfortunately, like I get that they're trying to streamline. Hacking in the first edition was sometimes very confusing. There was literally a flowchart for it. This is a lot simpler, where it's just like, okay, you did the thing, you're in. You have a status. You can either suck it up and accept that status, or you can try and improve your privileges, basically, or not. And then it's like, okay, if you're detected, the system does this automatically, and active defenders can do this. There should always be some kind of active defender, even if they're like an on-call hacker, you know, or just if you're hacking somebody's personal network, it's like their Muse or whatever. And then there's scattered throughout, there's a lot of different things, like, for instance, authentication and encryption is not necessarily in hacking, but it's related. And so there's stuff like that. There's a big section on various mesh actions, which anybody can undertake. But it's also a lot more generic. It's like, if you hack into a system, you know, you break in and you're like, okay, here are some subversion actions you can take, or you can just do normal-ass user privileges, you know. So Mesh Combat starts on 264. I think it'll be above that, but it's all in that section. It's all the mesh stuff. You can also find it in the index, because there is an index and it does work.
Mostly.
But yeah, so basically I was like, so that's cool and all, but that doesn't necessarily, at least as written, pose any kind of like unique challenges. If you had a very hacking heavy campaign, you know, one hack is not necessarily any different from another hack. Like, hacking a corporate server with a really good firewall is no different from hacking another corporate server with a really different firewall. And it's like, okay, well, I guess the hacker guard, you know, the sysadmin guarding this system is like 10% better at InfoSec. Ooh. So I'm like, yeah, I could see how this would get boring. Like, obviously, they did their best to streamline it. That's cool. And I put a note in my first article on it, which is like, obviously, if you incorporate these, you're going to slow down and lose some of the majestic streamlining that is already done in this.
Yeah, but like, here's the thing. Well, sorry. Well, like, here's the thing. Like, I kind of find that it's unfair of them, because they kind of had no qualms about giving you all this shit and fucking, like, other aspects of the game.
I think it's because people directly complained about how complex hacking was in the first edition. And they were like, okay, fine, here's the simple-ass hacking. There's even a punch-out sidebar, which is like, here's hacking in a single test. The hacker makes a list of all the stuff he wants to do. You roll one InfoSec test to get in. Based on how well you do, you accomplish your shit and are not found out or not. So it's like, they went to their best effort to make it so that people had less to complain about. But I'm like, but I want cool stuff.
I like stuff.
Because, like, they mentioned that there's a default damage for mesh combat, and they mentioned that some things might give you armor in mesh combat, but don't explain them or offer them, so I was like, okay, that's obviously going in there. Like, one of the simple things is I mentioned a program named Muramasa, obviously named after it, but that's just like, here, you do bonus damage in mesh combat, go for it. Some of them are defensive, they're like I said, like, the Labyrinth or the Oculus are like, almost like plot hooks, like, oh man, you have to deal with a smart system, which is, you know, actively making it harder for you to hack. Or the Oculus, which is like, this has learning algorithms that learn your hacking behavior so it can counter you, which is great if you're, like, having to hack a system over and over. And then some are just simple, like, one of them was just a concept which is like, here, a time bomb, it's a malware. You upload it into the system, you point it at something, you trigger it, it blows up, it does mesh damage. Duh. And lots of other fun little, like, I came up with all the fun little cyberpunky names for all of this, but a lot of these are really basic ideas, like, D2NA, or digital DNA, it's a basic bitch computer virus. It just replicates itself over and over again until all your storage space is full and your system is bogged down. And it's called D2NA because usually it's really complex data, like DNA sequences, chemical formulae, etc., etc. You know, long-chain proteins, so it's like, it takes up a lot of storage space. Or like, this is I changed the name slightly, but they call it honeypot defenses, but a honey trap is something they literally do in hacking, which is they make a juicy file for a hacker to pick up, but it's a trap. So, yeah, no, there's this. It's in there as an example of stuff. And that's just a thing I like. I liked experimenting with and writing down a lot of those. So I left them, and maybe we'll use them if anybody ever gets super into hacking. But for now, I'm going to be into talking and stuff. All right. So I think we're going to take another quick intermission, but then we'll come back with Death Stranding. Yeah. Finally, after an hour and a half. Your wait is over, kids. All right. We are resumed. So, audience.
I'm sorry. I just saw some great fucking... Hang on, this is some good fan art. I'm going to share this.
Mm-hmm.
All right, where is it? So according to Google Translate, the text says, "Fragile, teleport to the place." Oh, Fragile, you've been reduced to just a fast travel system. Well, not really,
but yes. So hey, this is gonna be the thing. We're gonna talk about Death Stranding now. We're gonna talk about gameplay stuff because we've got some new systems, but also some new annoyances. Mr. Kojima can't make it too easy for you. Otherwise,
Nope.
where's the challenge? But we're going to be talking about characters, themes, and plot events now. So
yeah.
if you are wanting to go into Death Stranding blind or don't want those kinds of spoilers, turn off now. We've already milked an hour and a half of watch time out of you, so it's fine.
Yeah, we're good.
So we're both in.
Mama.
Did we say this off mic? Yeah, we on mic. Yeah, I think we did. We said it. We're both in Chapter 5, Mama. I'm a believe at the point you were when you started streaming again a couple days ago, because my next plot mission is to take the delivery, which starts me towards Mountain Knot City.
Yeah, I get to
the way station.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you right now, you might want to make a beeline for it.
Oh, really?
Like, well, yeah, because you unlock an interesting piece of gear. The guy there gives you the armor pieces.
Oh, that's where you get the armor. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There's like 3 things you have to do before you actually get to Mountain Knot. So okay.
Yeah, no, like first you got to get to fucking the way station, and then they do the. You have an urgent mission. You got to get this blood to there like immediately. It's like, all right, I'm gonna go fuck off for like 5 hours. Bye.
Why kids? So if we don't have a direction for this, we can jump right into the other thing. I was surprised. So I had some internet stuff going on last night, but one of the things Lucky wanted to make sure we talked about, this is why we delayed the episode, was there's some character stuff and there's some missions. It's a very interesting mission you get.
Oh yeah.
Where you're in the central region, you're finally going to unlock Central Knot City, or South Knot City, sorry, the one I'm talking about. It's the central region.
Yeah.
When you're like, here's all of these shitloads of supplies, and then you're like, oh, there's an error. And a very sus gentleman.
Oh, he is super sus.
Who is, Troy Baker is not trying that hard to hide himself, but that's okay, that's what they pay him for.
Like I forget, is this actual, like, Troy Baker's, like, body and face?
I believe so. He was credited entirely as Troy Baker. So
yeah, so
I think it's his mocap performance, too.
Yeah, so, like, this is actual fucking, like...
It looks kind of like him.
Yeah, so...
But yeah, so it's Higgs. He's like, here's a little. Higgs gets a little bit more southern in this. Here's a little bit of extra package for you, and you're like, I'm like, really?
I'm sus as fuck.
My literal reaction was really, and then it gets to the cargo load, and it's like small thermonuclear weapon. I'm like, really? Because they're not subtle about it, which I appreciate. And I assume you can fuck this up, but
oh yeah, no, actually, I was actually gonna mention this because oh god, he did a power move on me again.
I assume a mule power move.
No, fucking Sam, he just sprayed me with fucking beer again.
Oh, that power move. That's a classic one.
So like I'm like as a like humble brag, I guess, but when I got this fucking package, my immediate thought was, I'm throwing this in the fucking lake.
That's what I thought too, but I was like, I wouldn't be like, Lucky, are they gonna try and? Am I supposed to just interpret this on my own? Because you were like, well, I interpreted it, and I'm like, okay, I'll just go throw it in the lake.
Yeah, but apparently if, like, because I actually did a little bit of reading about this, like, how other people reacted. Apparently, if you take it within the vicinity of South Knot, it does fucking explode.
Okay, so if you get too close, you just die. It's game over.
And apparently, if you, if that happens, I'm like I said, this is just, what I read. Apparently, if you make that happen, like, a few times, like, you can't figure out what to do, the game will straight up tell you, why don't you go talk to Fragile in the fucking
yeah,
distro
so
center?
Die Hardman actually suggests that, because he's like, oh man, there's some weird chiral density. Fragile can't jump right now. If you want to talk to her about it, go to the distro center, south of, Lake Knot City. And so, I was going through some internet stuff, and I missed some of the ending cutscenes for this.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back on YouTube to watch them back. And I learned that, no, if you go to the distribution center and go to your private room, Fragile will actually pop out and be like, yo, what's this suspicious package with my name on it? And then she opens it up and she's like, holy shit, dude, it's a nuke.
Oh
You
yeah,
have to
because
get rid of it. You have to throw it in the only place to do it is the Crater Lake. It's supposed to be bottomless. That's your only chance. And then when you do that, they give you a timer. Yes, you have like 20 minutes to get its ass down there.
That's great because if you don't go there, you don't get a timer.
No, it's just you can't leave the delivery area. I presume.
I guess I don't know, but still.
But no, so I did what Lucky did after he confirmed that that's the solution he did, and I just took it down the lake and threw it, and then you get Fragile's full backstory. Really, like she'd already explained a little bit of it throughout this chapter because this was chapter 3, Fragile, but this concludes it with like how she got all fucked up.
Explain
why she hates that motherfucker Higgs, and Higgs is a motherfucker.
Higgs is a motherfucker, but God, I love the acting.
Well, yeah, Troy Baker is great. He's a great voice and performance actor because he's literally acting the part.
Yeah,
that's a good way to put it. X possibly with a slightly southern accent. They got history. But yeah, so Fragile really fucking hates Higgs for multiple reasons, she kind of hems and haws about how much of a hero she thinks she is. Sam is like, "No, dude, you're a hero," because she mentions earlier when you first meet her that she got soaked in timefall from head to toe. It's not until this cutscene that she explains how that worked, which is a scene we actually saw in some trailers, which I didn't realize at the time was a flashback, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's a flashback. Where Higgs basically strips her to her undies, throws his mask on her because he doesn't like his face for some reason, which is weird because he's got kind of a pretty face. Don't know.
If you find the unknown man's journals, I'm pretty sure
I've got
that's
some of those. Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's Higgs.
Okay, I'll read them more thoroughly. There's a lot of interviews, so sometimes I'm like, I don't want to read an essay Kojima right now. Usually characters tell me these in a codec call. Anyway.
Snake.
But yeah, so Higgs throws his mask over her face because his point, I think, is that she's not going to get out of it by becoming an old lady, basically. By changing her face, because she's going to be wanted now for reasons.
Yep.
Because he blew up another city. Once again, Kojima's anti-nuclear message comes back strongly.
Yeah, it does.
But, she does a fucking power move and runs out into the timefall in her skivvies and throws the second bomb into the lake.
Yep.
And she's a little bitter over the whole situation.
Yeah, she's basically flat out saying that, no, she can't get back at Higgs, but she thinks Sam can. That's why.
Also, we learned that Higgs we already saw it when he controlled a literal BT catcher, but he's very strong with the Dooms bullshit, because he just makes it rain.
He literally shoots like lightning into the air. He's like past level 7. And for reference, I think they say that Sam is level 2.
Yeah, level 2 or 3 is what Fragile's like. Level 2?
Yeah.
Level 3, maybe? Because he can't even see BTs on his own. He can only sense their presence.
Yeah. He needs the BB.
Though, Sam's unique power, which I believe is Dooms related, is that
he's
he's a repatriate, but I believe he's got the double back and forth, where his special, and maybe it's because of the both, but his special flavor of Dooms is that BTs fucking hate his blood.
Yeah,
which is great because I finally got what I expected, and I got my fucking blood gun, and I love it. It's my favorite. Well, it's my second one. It's not my favorite. The damn dirty mules stole it because that southern mule camp in Central is kind of bullshit. Well, they're bullshit when the game gives them the sticky guns. Which, by the way, they keep. I don't know if you've been back there lately, but a couple of those guys keep those guns even after you steal back 8 of them.
Oh, yeah, like the mules unlock weapons as you unlock weapons, as I've learned. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, so they're a little... Well, it's probably because other players are losing their bullshit in the wilderness. But anyway.
Yeah, I know. Like, literally, I went to the mule... it's a terrorist camp, technically. And, I got a special biotes cutscene. I went to a area, and in one of the lockers, there was a level 3 assault rifle. I'm like, I don't even have this unlocked. How the fuck are you losing this?
Yeah. Though I also appreciated it in a segment we're going to talk a lot about because I loved it, but I also appreciate that they gave me the shotgun that I can't build yet.
Yeah. Yep.
That's great for that segment, but we'll talk about that one a little bit because that's the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I lost my first anti-BT handgun, but I love the anti-BT handgun. Now, my normal handgun I got it to level 2, so it does hematic rounds, so I don't know if that does better than a fully charged anti-BT gunshot.
I don't know. Like, here's the thing, like, I honestly don't know how like weapons scale against each other. Like right now,
yeah, because that's the thing. Honestly, when you actually get your anti-BT weapons, they're pretty pushover. Like if you get a normal BT square with a regular ass hematic grenade, they'll fuck off. They're gone. They're toast.
Yeah. It's like I defeat several of like the initial fucking large BTs with just grenades.
Yeah, no, you can beat the bosses, the initial catchers, the large BTs with just 5 or 6 ish hematic grenades.
You need like 2. So you need like
you need 2 boxes.
Yeah,
and usually that's what I carry. But hey, I have 2 grenade pouches now. Fuck, I love it. And I have a second utility pouch, so I can carry like 8 fucking blood bags. If I'm gonna get in gunfights, I'm gonna need more blood bags.
And I'm still been running around with 4. I've been doing it right. It's interesting because the terrorists, a lot of them have just blood bags as their equipped item. I'm just like,
interesting. But yeah, you can just steal them.
Yeah. So
yes, but we were talking about the weapons.
Yeah, like Kojima. This is what we like about Kojima. He likes gear porn. He likes robots. He likes nuclear deterrence and daddy issues. I'm also adding another one to this list. Fucking rocks.
Yeah, somebody on the team, and I bet I don't know if it was Kojima himself, but I feel like he would be the one to insist about the terrain realism. But somebody on that design team loves fucking rocks, and I want to hit him with a rock sometimes because goddamn these. Well, it's not just the rocks; it's also the vehicle physics are a little bullshit.
Yeah.
That trike. You'd think in 3-wheel mode you'd be better at it. You're not though. You're really
They're not. Like
you're arguably better putting it into 2-wheel boost mode and just throwing yourself at the cliff and trying to jump, because you get... It's so weird. These things feel like they have no shocks when it comes to, like, impacts or whatever, moving around, but you can get some mad fucking ups in these things. Because that's your anti-stuck deterrent. If you get a little bit trapped, like if you get your wheels off the ground or whatever, the game's like, jump. But still, it's so funny that, like, you can get these crazy huge jumps, especially out of a trike, but you hit a, like, 2-foot tall rock, and it just fucks your entire day up, because it gets, like, stuck on the axle or something, and I'm like...
You just, like, stop.
Well, yeah, like, 1, you come to a dead stop, and 2, then your vehicle gets weird, and I'm like, okay, I'll admit this, I'm not an expert at driving, and I'm not an expert at off-road driving. I don't know if this is how cars naturally react to this situation, though.
Well, usually, like I said, usually you have big-ass honking tires, so you can just literally roll over things. And you have torque, so even if you do run into it, you can just push yourself over it. Yeah,
that's another thing that we've noticed, and I agree with the vehicles, even the big fat truck. I love the truck. I can store so much cargo in it. It doesn't have any fucking torque or horsepower. I have had to fight myself going up hills sometimes. Now, on the one hand, like I said earlier, I'm pretty sure this is all intentional because he doesn't want to make it easier. But goddamn, Bridges couldn't have reconstructed a fucking prototype Humvee.
A quad?
Yeah, fuck, give me a quad. Like, yeah, the reverse strike is a cool concept, and highway driving, it's great. There's nothing faster than, like, a good-sized trike. By the way, I did find the ride trike. I haven't built one yet, but if I need a trike, I will.
Alright, okay.
There's a custom, because riding with Norman Reedus is a thing, there's a custom trike you guys can find with memory chips. You should keep an eye out for it. Yeah, I found it in the waterfall basin, I think.
Okay, so it wasn't the fucking ruined factory. Okay.
No, it was I found it in the waterfall basin, I'm pretty sure. Because I don't know if I've been to a ruined factory, but I did find it on... I got it immediately after I came back from that mission, but I might have had a couple of chips, I'm not sure.
Well, no, because that was the thing. It's like I only had 2 chips at the time, and it was the one from the ruined factory to the north. You'll see it on the way to the way station, and the other one was from the waterfall basin.
No, it's the waterfall basin one then, definitely. Which is, by the way, where I built my first couple of, me personally, zip lines, because... I think that's what the game wants you to do with that mission, because it's right after you talk with Mama and she gives you the zipline schematic.
And she literally gives you 2 PCCs, and let me tell you, I have a video of me going over that fucking waterfall, okay?
Yeah. But yeah, no, I shenanigans some stuff to be like, okay, so you can take hers all the way to the top of the hill, and then I built one at the bottom of the hill, and then I built one down in the actual basin to beam up to. So yeah, no, I have my own little fast travel network. When I feel like going back and finishing off Jake Wind at the wind farm, that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to take some PCCs with me and build some fucking zip lines. Because zip lines are great. The range could be a little limiting, and they've got like line of sight things they want to go for, but they're still pretty decent in terms of like clearance and stuff.
I kind of wish that they're like when you upgrade them to level 2, they only get like a 50 meter upgrade to their range. I was like, God damn it!
I wish I feel like I want there to be just a like a cargo carrier for zip lines, like just give me like a ski lift basically.
Oh, gondola.
A gondola, yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of thing, just so I could, because I believe you can only carry what you can carry on your back with you.
Yeah, you can't even carry anything in the one hand that you're
right. So it's a little limiting. It's no fucking truck, but yes, no. I'll basically like, I really just they're the United Cities of America. They don't have a fucking Humvee in here, a Hummer, something, an all-terrain vehicle. I know Kojima does love vehicles, but where's my fucking Drebin 6-wheeled ATV, right? Or APC, I mean. Where's that thing, huh?
Well, I said, like, plot-wise, they did say they basically lost all their fucking information.
Yeah, the Death Stranding is this is actually, I've mentioned this a lot, Death Stranding is actually really relevant to Eclipse Phase, because there's a lot of concepts, like the printing, the nostalgia, and the fact that originals can't be replicated, Mm-hmm. But that's also, the infopocalypse is a big part of Eclipse Phase. There's so much shit that was on Earth that we don't know anymore because our computers are fucked. And we don't necessarily know what we don't know. And that's how Death Stranding is. These guys are like, we don't know what we've forgotten anymore. But the truck is a prototype, but it's pretty good. I've already unlocked the defensive and the long range. I'm not sure why I would bother, though. Like, I think you're right. The core truck, really good. Got really good battery life, especially compared to mule trucks.
Well, no, here's the thing. The long-range trucks doesn't use up your cargo space. They put the batteries on the outside.
Oh,
it's those three.
Yeah, dude. All right, maybe I'll get a long-range one then. Not that I need it because the battery life in the regular is so good.
Yeah, no, but so like I usually go with the long-range level 3 just because. Actually, I can take a screenshot real shit and show you what it looks like.
Also, by the way, my color of truck is Mars Red.
I haven't figured out a specific color scheme for my trucks, but all my trikes are Ava unit colors.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so the vehicle thing is a little sketchy. I wonder if maybe that's an engine limitation, because obviously in Horizon Zero Dawn, I don't think there's any vehicles. Like, you can ride robots, but they have a much more organic. Like, heck, fuck, give me a walker, Kojima. Where's my Metal Gear? Huh? I bet the physics engine would handle that great.
I mean, there's drones already, and they're cute, and they boop at you.
Yeah, drones. Well, they're okay. They're doing their best. I don't want to do their best, but they're doing their best.
They do their best.
But sometimes they... it's been a learning experience figuring out what deliveries can be trusted to drones and what can't.
Like, honestly, like, I only give them deliveries that I've already done. It's all like, hey, you guys want something to do? Here you go.
Yeah, it's a good way to move some shit around or to farm a little bit of extra stars. Which is, a thing I worked on. No, there's no way the drones would do it. The pizza's like 30 minutes or less or whatever. Yeah. By the way, I haven't done the second pizza mission yet because my highway's not done. And I'm like, there's no fucking way in this terrain I'm driving from South Knot. No, I don't think they are. I think you literally can't give them urgent missions.
No, you can't. You can only give them standard orders and a specific list of the standard orders.
Yeah, you can't give them fragile things, but I don't recommend it.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, speaking of fragile things, so, I don't know, was there any more parts you wanted to talk about?
Well, yeah, we were just on vehicles as, like, a thing. But if you want to talk more about the characters and stuff, there are a lot of interesting characters.
Okay, well, actually, I do have one vehicle gripe I want to talk about, and this kind of goes into another one of my gripes. So, running into a BT area in a vehicle is kind of bullshit.
Yeah, it's because there's this thing where they turn off electronics and all your cars are battery powered, so it's like...
It turns off temporarily.
Well, it's our same complaint from... I think we complained about this already in the first episode of us talking about this, was just... There's too much rigmarole when you enter a BT zone.
Yeah.
Like, first it starts raining and your hood goes up.
Yeah, but, you don't actually stop the action.
Then you get the shock point, which if you're in a vehicle, stops your vehicle dead.
Yep.
Then when you get actually close to BTs, your BB and your Order Direct, like, freak out and, like, have to let you know, oh shit, dude. And it's an unskippable transformation that stops you dead.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Kojima, why?
Why you do this? Now, here's the thing. Most of the times, this isn't a problem. It's a little annoying. But there is one particular spot when you're going from the distribution center to South Knot where you're driving over. If you're on a highway, you're driving over like a ravine. There's a
point where the highway crosses a BT zone over rough terrain.
Yeah, if you hit that dead zone and you're too far to the left, you will just walk straight off the fucking highway.
Right, because you can't control anything, and
you can't control
anything. That's the other thing. Vehicle inertia is weird. They have inertia, and it's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many weird ass like slides and shit I've done on
but here's the weird thing,
trucks. Because I think you're right, Lucky. I think your truck will not roll.
Yeah.
You can fall off a cliff. You can slam into stuff. I have been on 2 wheels on a slope, and I have not gone over.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, that's, it's good because, honestly, like, I would probably have rolled the truck several times by now. But at the same time, like, there's opportunity, like, when I'm on a truck, sometimes I can stop on a fucking dime. Sometimes I literally skid for, like, half a mile.
Yeah, and I think some of that is, like, the ground type, because different ground types have different terrain effects, basically. Like, if you're in a area with no grass and it's raining, it's wet. You will slip more. You can tell when the ground is wet because your tires will literally shoot up water. Rocky uneven terrain is rocky and uneven, and it sucks. So I think some of that depends on where you are, but yeah, no, I've talked about this before, where like some days the trike or the truck stops on a dime. Other times it's just like, okay, can you stop for real? And then there's sometimes with, I don't know if it's because it's brake and reverse, so I think it's a little pressure sensitive, but there are times when I'm trying to think through it in reverse and it's just like, I'm just braking. Okay, let me stop. Let me try it again all the way down. Now we're reversing up the hill. But yeah, your vehicle momentum and stuff is weird. And I don't know, maybe that's got to do with how your packages are loaded in the back. I can see that. Because that's how it is with you walking. Like, how you arranged your packages and how you cross terrain affects your balance.
Yeah, even, like, shooting a gun can affect your balance.
Yes, and holding a gun in one hand affects your balance, too. You will stumble a lot more if you've got a gun out than if you don't, because you are literally holding a weight off-center in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so, that was vehicles.
Yeah.
We like them. I really want there to be more. Like, that's the thing. I'd love if there's not more vehicles in, like, the end game. I'd love some, like, vehicle fucking DLC. I'd pay, like, $5 for, like, I don't know, all kinds of stuff. Like...
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if Kojima has actually talked about, like, post-game.
I hope he... I feel like I like this game enough to be like, I hope he does something. Like, even if it's just cosmetics and dumb shit. Like, or if he comes up with, like, new missions or maps or stuff. But I love Death Stranding a lot, and I'm okay with spending more than $60 on it.
Yeah. Let's see here. So, tangentially related to vehicles is, again, Lucky is being a currently old bastard and not liking online. Because when I'm online, I see people's fucking vehicles everywhere, and...
Online's very hit or miss. Also, I feel like I don't know why it does stuff the way it does. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know if it's other players' fault at this point, or just how the netcode is weird. I don't honestly, don't know.
Like, cause, like, the way that it is, like, once you unlock certain vehicles and stuff, other players' vehicles will just show up in the world, and they'll just show up where the fuck ever. I have literally had to, I've had to push a vehicle off the fucking highway because from some odd reason, it was just now, straddling the fucking street.
Some of those I feel like are just, a player clearly got out to, like, get a package or get a delivery, and something happened and they walked too far away.
Or something.
Because I think that's what happens is, because I've walked too far away from my cargo, when you see other players' items on the ground, that's something that they dropped or lost or had to ditch, and then they walked too far away from, and they quote-unquote lost it. So... Yeah,
well, it's not necessarily, that, because from what I understand, it's like the item, like, for lost cargo, it's
Well, I mean, when you see a player's lost cargo.
When you see a player's lost cargo, it's not where you find it, it's not necessarily where they lost it.
No, but they definitely, that's something that I believe that they dropped and walked away from.
Yeah.
They left the radius, and then it percolates up into the cloud.
Yeah, like, my big issue is when I see big honking vans literally stopped in front of prepper doorways, I'm like, but why?
On the one hand, I do that too. I step out, but...
Yeah. But I don't...
Did you log off with it there, player? Yeah. Did you walk away from it, or because you left it, did the server decide to ditch it? Am I leaving fucking trucks everywhere? God, I hope not.
Sam, it's like, I don't know what's happening. And like my initial knee-jerk reaction is like, is this a social network blackmailing scheme? Because here's the thing, like, when you if you use someone's truck, you automatically give them likes. Like I get in someone's vehicle.
I could see some dirty real life mules after their likes like this. By the way, get in the vehicles. I fucking take my truck and I shove them out of the way.
Oh yeah, same. Because there's already that happening. Like if you notice, if you drive down the highway, people have put the speed up signs all up and down the fucking charge.
Speed up or likes for likes.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with if people want to drop signs down there, because you get likes back too, especially with like for like signs. Yeah. Or if they put BB happy signs, I love those too, because that just makes BB happier.
Yeah, because keep on keeping on, likes for likes, happy BB. Those give you actual benefits. Keep on keeping on actually restores your stamina.
Heck, even speed up does. I love when people leave speed ups like in distribution center ramps, just to give you that little extra kick trying to leave.
Yeah, but they're sometimes a pain when you're trying to come in.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, but that's also because what we talked about. The brakes are weird. They're a little touchy.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's just like sometimes like I've gone through areas and it's just like for some odd reason there's always just a fucking cloud of signs like right outside the fucking distribution system. Like
I don't know if that's because more players are maybe moving in that area or the game percolates them. Like that's the thing. I don't care about. I'll understand the themes in my own time. What I would want to talk to the design team of Death Stranding on is like, how did you program this? Why is it the way it is? That said, you know what definitely is people's fault? Structures.
Oh my god. So so right off the back, I'm gonna say, like, I preface me talking about this. I have a big me problem about this. I'm very anal retentive about how I play structures. I have my own kind of
I even think this. I think sometimes you're too fussy. You're like, why would you put a climbing spike here? I'm like, I think to myself quietly, I might have put a climbing spike there if I needed to get down.
Yeah, so it's like, this is totally a me problem. But at the same time,
people are also just bad. Kids, if you're watching, don't put a fucking shelter right outside a city with a distribution center or a distribution center. Those are already fast travel points with private rooms. Don't waste the materials. Those are expensive. Yeah. Put them next to prepper shelters and stuff. If you have to.
Like people putting like mailboxes and like prepper shelters like right there, or
mailboxes are weird. I don't understand what other players are using them for. Like from what I've used them occasionally. Like if I found a shitload of lost cargo in the middle of a field, I'm like, I'll throw this in post box. That's fine.
From what the only thing I can truly assume is because you always see them mostly in mule areas, is people want to grab all of the mule loot and cargo and not
secure it. Yeah,
and secure it.
That makes sense.
That makes sense, but at the same time, Galaxy Brain's like, I'm just gonna bring my giant ass fucking truck and load everything in one trip.
No, and that's fair, and that's what I used to do. I have Power Skeleton level 3, and I've got a big fucking truck, and I'm just for a long time I was just punching the shit out of these guys until I got the bola gun. I would just slap them, like not even necessarily wait for, because if you get a few of them on you, the waiting for strand thing the timing gets a little dicey.
Yeah, it does.
So I was literally just punch kicking a lot of these guys until it was like bola gun. I'm like, I love this gun forever. Because kids, in case you don't know, so the bola gun, it shoots a bola.
Yep.
It has a strand between the two balls, so it's technically a blood weapon. So you can use it to bind. It won't kill them, but it'll bind BTs so they fuck off and they can't touch you.
Yeah.
I've used that a lot for chiralium farming. Though now I think I like the BT handgun more because that just fucks them up. But if you hit a mule with it, you will bind them up. If you hit them in the head, or if they take a tumble, they pass out. Otherwise, you have to walk over and kick them. But it binds them up for a few minutes, and they automatically drop their cargo.
Or if they fall in the water, they'll get knocked out.
If they fall in the water, they float so they don't drown, but they auto unconscious. So, it's very handy and very effective. It's got pretty good range, got pretty good spread, and mules are dumb. Like I think they're a little hacky because I don't think they have to play by our. Well, obviously they're not usually loaded with as much shit, but they don't seem to play as much with our rules about balance and stuff. Yeah. Like if now you've said you've seen them eat shit, so maybe they have some slight randomization, but they seem pretty handy, like hopping up and down ledges or hopping small gaps. Probably to make up for the fact that they can't use terrain traversal tools like ladders and ropes. Yeah. That's fair. But they're dumb. They're dumb. They're Olympic level javelin throwers. They're fucking dumb. I can, zero in my fucking bolo gun right in a guy's head. He'll still, Like, some of them sidestep a little, but a lot of them just are like, that guy's got cargo, I'm gonna get... Oh fuck, I've been pulling. Oh god, now he's kicking me.
They actually get smarter once they actually get into melee runes, because they'll actually try to, like, circle around you.
Yes, when they get up close, they're better. They'll do power attacks to knock your cargo off. They'll poke you. They'll try and get behind you. That said, they're literal addicts, so... I haven't used them a lot, but you can get decoy cargo, which they will fall for every time, the suckers. And honestly, the first level, the regular smoke one, that's not worth it. You're just gonna smoke them a little bit. But when it's V-Fog, the sleep one, that's probably worth it. I haven't built any of those because I've got a gun. I've got a gun now, so I don't care. But
I also I have a bola gun. I also have remote detonation stun grenades, which is great for taking out vehicles and everyone fucking on it.
Because that's the reason why mule trucks are a little sketchy with their cargo weight, is because half the bed is taken up with seats for more guys.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why your Bridges truck is literally a delivery truck. That's why it can hold so much shit.
So much shit.
But yeah, so mules are dumb, but they're skilled. Like, the first time I tried to do the sticky gun mission, I got taken out because I was like trying to wrestle my logistics and run back and forth between this ravine that I kept falling into because I couldn't jump right.
Oh my god.
And just the added confusion of, oh shit, these guys literally have the sticky guns that I need to steal back. And they're just taking shit back from you. I'm like, okay, this is a little complex. And then they just ganged up on me and slugged me out while I was... Because I thought, oh, I'll just be cheeky. I'll just use the sticky gun to steal... Oh god, why are there 12 of them? And they have sticky guns too. Oh no.
Oh no!
And they literally knocked me out and took all my shit. And now I lost my favorite anti-BT handgun.
It should be in one of the post boxes, though.
No, it wasn't. It ended up somewhere else. I'm not sure where.
Oh,
did they ditch it at the dump site that I didn't know where that was? I don't know.
Yeah.
But then I walked away from it. So if you see Unit Omega, an anti-BT handgun, I'd love if you return that to me. I'd love to get it back. But yeah. So I think at some point we were going to talk about character stuff.
At some point.
But we were talking about structures which bother us.
Yeah. Like, again, like, I'm fussy, like,
Yes, you're a little bit fussy, but honestly, some people are just bad.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be honest, most generator placements are okay, because generators are really the only way to recharge a vehicle battery, so...
Well, like, here's the thing, I should say recharge a battery quickly. Like, all the vehicles are,
Yeah, I guess they recharge slowly if you idle, but if you're in motion, the only way to, like...
Yeah.
Do it to your destination is to park by a generator. So that's some kind of, like... Some of them are weird, but especially if you're, like, I don't mind additional logistical support on prepper shelters, because they're very minimal.
Mm.
So, like, you can't fast travel to them, so I understand why you'd put a safe house there. I understand why a lot of people park generators close to them. Because usually highways don't pull up right next to them, so you have to, spend a little bit of battery. But there are other cases where it's like, why did you put this here?
Like, my big thing is, why do people keep putting watchtowers in the middle of,
you broke up there, in the middle of where?
Oh, sorry. In the middle of mule camps. Like,
yeah, I understand the concept. You want to use them to look at mules, but I think the best watchtowers are on the edge of mule territory.
Yeah, and because if you're already in mule territory, you already got a fucking handy scanner that you can just tap with a button.
And your
They'll do the exact
scanner
same
is
thing.
so handy. It can scan for humans. It can counter their cargo pings. So I haven't used it yet, but you can use it to become a holographic rock.
I've done it for shits and the giggles, but I haven't used it for actually. Oh god, I should have used that when I tried the. Okay, so
how do you actually use it? I haven't seen the obvious way yet.
It's in your the up on the D-pad that has your boots, your shoes.
It's in your cosmetic menu. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, your wearables, I guess. Okay, interesting. I'll keep that in mind if I'm ever sneaking. Because the mules actually do that. They hide post boxes in holographic rocks.
Yeah, kind of neat. But yeah, like I have actually successfully snaked that shit with mules, actually taking out everyone stealthily, because the mule gun, not the mule gun, the bola gun is actually completely fucking silent. I've realized. So yeah, you can just take people out and they will know nothing. But I'm at this
interest. All out, you get a lovely email from somebody, and regularized porters can return. I don't really know what they do. Like, sometimes they've offered me their cargo, but most of the time they don't.
I say hi. I give them likes, and they'll occasionally give you likes for shit they walk by. I've also seen them using other people's structures too. Like I saw 2 hanging out under a timefall shelter during a timefall. I was all like, "Oh, neat."
Yeah, they actually have AI for that because they'll sit with you inside shelters. It's in prepper shelters too if it's raining outside.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they'll go inside and like basically chillax with you for a little bit.
Neat. I didn't know that.
They don't leave right away.
But
I think they're just a cool mechanic. Also, it's Kojima's secretly testing how much of an asshole you are. I think he gives them deliveries and he gives them items to see if you'll be a dick bag and steal them.
Okay, so lucky confession time. I'm actually at like negative 141 with the porters, but so it was kind of an accident. Okay, so I did wrong by them twice. First time, I saw some random ass fucking dude walking around with cargo, and I was all like, "Who the fuck is that, Bola?" And I was like, they were like negative 100 likes. I was like, "Oh, you're just a regular ass fucking porter. I'm sorry. I won't take your shit. I can't cut you loose. My bad. Bye." Second time, like after that, like, you know, I saw, like, I figured out what their life was about and all that stuff, and I started, you know, you can give them likes, they'll trade you cargo. But one time I was going full speed in my truck, and I turned into a distro center, and they were coming up the ramp. I did not see them. I totally hit one just like you just ate fucking bumper. Another negative 100
I try really
likes.
hard when I see them going into a distro center to not do that, and I'm like, God, where the fuck is my horn button?
Yeah.
I want to just... Because mule trucks can honk, but you can't honk. I just want to... Get the fuck out of the way. They will, too. If they see you driving anywhere in remotely the same direction as them, they're like, oh shit, let me get out the way.
Yeah.
But you could go pretty fast in vehicles, too, so...
Yeah. So... Yeah, but, I forgot where I was going. Well, yeah, I was just talking about Porter. But I guess another part I wanted before we got like certain things is like I technically stopped doing, like, I did a story mission, but then I reloaded an older save because the mission pissed me off. I'm gonna spoil it for you a little bit. It's not too much a spoiler because it's not like a super story reason. But at one point in this game, you have to deliver an antimatter bomb. It's not for terrorism reasons though, so you don't have to worry about that. It's not like super story related. Basically, what happens is the city is being like devoured by the tar. And they need the antimatter bomb to, like, I don't know, get rid of it. They didn't actually explain what the fuck they were going to do with it. I still don't know. Because here's the thing. Like, this cargo is fragile. It is extremely fragile. It is so fragile that if you bump it too hard, it will explode.
Oh, fuck. Kojima, you love this bullshit too much.
Yeah.
Because it's not a spoiler, because honestly, it's probably not a spoiler because it's a character-related thing. But there's a human escort mission in this. There's at least one. There's probably more, but...
There's probably more.
Well, luckily the game gives you the anti-BT handgun, so I literally just crouched and I was like, okay, Miss Chick who doesn't have a name, be quiet. I'm going to literally shoot all the BTs between here and there, because to get there, you also have a fragile delivery, the chiral hourglass. Mm-hmm. So I just hoofed it on foot slowly. Actually, also, I didn't have to, but I also carried it by hand so I could protect it if I fell, and I didn't.
I don't know. I thought they wouldn't let you put it on your back.
They might not, but I did carry it by hand. I just didn't fall and have to protect it with my body. I just snaked my way through all the BTs between my destination. And then then they gave me a gun, and I'm like, okay, now it's time for revenge. Because if you fully charge up that BT handgun shot, those BTs are fucked. It slurps up a lot of your blood, but you can carry a lot of blood, kids.
Yeah, this is why I like using the grenades, because grenades also just takes them the fuck out. But it also alerts, like, other ones, too. So it's just
and also, sometimes, because they're floating, sometimes the grenade, like, making the grenade land in the right spot is kind of hard.
Yeah.
That's why I prefer the direct approach of the gun.
But, yeah.
But, hey, to each their own. Kojima gives you a wide variety of tools.
Yeah, I know. That's why, again, he likes gear. And I do, too. But, like, so... I have to deliver this antimatter bomb, and depending on the route you get, you're most likely going to go through terrorist territory and a BT zone to get to this fucking location. And as I said, if you shake it too hard, it will explode. I literally got to the location. My cargo was 90% destroyed. I was like that close for it to blowing up, and I gave it to the person, and the person was all like, "Why the fuck you here? Go away. We don't want you." I'm like, I'm literally delivering the device here that's gonna help you fucking save your fucking city, and you won't even give me a goddamn thank you. Like, no, I'm not dealing with this right now. I'm gonna go back, reload my save, and I'm just gonna build the road no matter how fucking long it takes to get here, so I don't have to deal with this stressful bullshit, because I'm gonna have to deal with you afterwards.
That's fair. And yes, some people are assholes to you. Usually they grow on you after a couple stars, but I'm like, dude, do you know who the fuck I am? Do you know what I've done? I am the great deliverer. I have carried people, and I have carried bombs, and I have punched tar ghosts. I am literally rebuilding the roads of America. Literally. Nobody else... No, it's not true. There's most of mine are half full, and I expect that's the game. The game only fills them up halfway.
No, I've seen some that are more than half, but yeah, I don't know, I've never... I'm
pretty sure... Wait, no, I think I have actually seen one get filled in, but I might have started by filling that one up halfway myself.
No, I can definitely attest to, when I started my road making adventure, there were 2 roads completed. Only 2. The rest, and some of them had 0 amount of materials, and other ones had various amount. So I don't know, but as I said, I can definitely say as much effort as I put into this, it was not a one man effort. Other people definitely contributed to this in some way or form. I don't know how or why or what. But
yeah, and honestly, like I said, I think it's maybe the way that the cloud stuff is set up that network mode won't. The network mode doesn't try to give you too much for free.
Yeah, well, that's fair. That's
because even to unlock network structures, you have to connect a zone to a network.
Yeah,
which sometimes takes work because, as Lucky has just expounded, some of these people are assholes.
Yeah, you don't even.
I have a shit list. Though most of the people on it come off eventually, because I don't know. I'm still kind of sketchy about the junk dealer. He's still kind of an asshole. He sends me an email about how he feels bad about his married life, and I'm just like,
you've literally been married for hours, sir.
Also, dude, I took that. I literally carried that chick as cargo through a BT zone. So if you want to get rid of her, I'm not doing it. You're gonna have to carry her back to her mama.
Well, he's also the guy that gave you the fucking prototypes for the fucking back.
Yeah, he's an alright guy, but I'm still a little sketch on him. I told you also, really, the collector is on my list, but that's mostly just because he's in a really asinine place.
See, he was on my shit list for a completely different reason, because I didn't...
You didn't know that he was bugged, but he was bugged, in case you didn't know, kids.
Yeah. I was having this problem where he wouldn't go over literally, over 2 stars, no matter what I did, and I'm just do I need a special mission? Is this time locked? I don't fucking know. And I think it was actually said it, oh no, he's bugged, and I was like, son of a bitch!
And, because I was on stream too, and that was basically oh, yeah, shit, he's bugged, well, I'll go fix him. And you got the collector right away. Vesper, who is not listening live, but probably shouldn't be, because we're talking about spoilers, just said that they think that, because they're playing Death Stranding right now, that Death Stranding is a greed and hubris simulator more than a hiking simulator. And I'm like, no, checks out.
That seems Kojima to me.
But also, I understand. I have both felt greed and hubris playing this game. I can take that next order. Oh, fuck, I can't take this next order.
I was like, why do you need 24 XL cargoes to go?
Why do you? What was the delivery I was super upset about? It was the Ludens fan. I was like, Ludens fan, why do you need an art book in 30 minutes or less, or your money back? This is not a fucking pizza. I should know. I delivered one of those. And honestly, a lot of them are okay. I had to double check how to do them, but I started doing premium deliveries more for standard orders just because you can. But I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I don't know if they give you anything extra, but they add a fucking star value over your name. I'm all like, I'm important now.
I'm like, okay, I'm doing those because most of them are shit I do anyway. Because most orders are here's 3 packages that are worth 30 kilograms. You need to deliver a minimum of 1 kilogram. And I'm like, okay. I'll deliver all of it. And basically, premium is usually you need 6 or more as opposed to 1 or more, or you need, higher, more of the cargo, basically. I think for some of the urgent ones, the time goes down, but still. They give you lots of time most of the time.
Yeah, but if you want to get that highest level, I think you have to do it within a quarter of the time limit.
Yes, that's fair. But also, yes, I think that, that just, it's really interesting to see the premium is just I was already doing those levels of deliveries because I don't. It's why would I not? Because that's the thing. It's really weird. I feel like sometimes Kojima has been like the game is hard, but also it's softball. It's like and we've talked about this. I don't know when decisions are made or what. Like maybe the whole thing with like BTs, for instance, in your scanner is like, oh, there were playtesters who were like, this isn't obvious enough that I'm about to enter a hell zone, and I keep getting dragged off. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. But I wonder if some of those things came out through like playtesting or other decisions to be like, did people who were like playtesting this game like fall down and lose their cargo a lot, or I don't know, or maybe it's meant to be for people who are also playing on harder difficulties because we're both on normal, I think.
Yep, I'm on normal,
and that's another Kojima game staple is like 5 levels of difficulty, all of which are very different experiences. So it could just be that also some of this is like if you're not playing on like hard or super hard, you don't. Like, if you were playing on the highest difficulty, it would be like, no, that's a real thing that matters, is like, it's a pain in the ass to deliver all the cargo. Who knows? Oh, that's a very interesting question. Zero Random, who's not listening live, but they're talking about just starting play today. And they're like, I need to build post boxes everywhere. I'm like, why? What do you need? Because we have this question, why are there so many fucking post boxes? And here's a person telling us he needs to make post boxes. I'm like, why? Why do you feel you need them? It's interesting, because like, I think that's the beauty of Death Stranding. Literally, it's a pathfinding game, so everybody finds their own path different ways. And some of them are the game recommends, like, these are very obvious routes for you to take, like, a vehicle or something up here. And there's the literal roads starting in Central. But, like, it's very interesting to see all this. Because everybody plays their own way, and some of them annoy us.
And, well, here's the thing. It wouldn't annoy me as so much if I can communicate to these people and ask why you do this. Explain to me your logic.
Or, fuck, I'd love it. We were bamboozled. We thought this would be easy to hook up with our friends. It's not.
Yeah, no, it's not.
I've literally not seen Lucky once in this game. And there's no way to pop up in your friends list and, like, do that, which there should be. Like, I kind of get the theme of, like what you call it, just dealing with people you run into. But at the same time, it's like, no, I would seriously appreciate if, like, I just was walking in the woods, I cleared a new network node, and I'm just like, oh shit, Lucky built a ladder here. Cool. I'll give Lucky some likes. But also, I could understand where Kojima was like, but I don't want players to just farm likes with people who already like them, you know?
Well, like, here's the thing.
There's a lot of social experiment in this game.
Yeah, like, here's the thing, though. It's like, here's, like, my other big thing. It's like, I don't understand people's, like, methodology. Because here's the thing. If I use someone's thing, I give them all the fucking likes I can. I'm like, I appreciate this. Yo.
Right. Likes for likes.
Yeah, but then I, like, see fucking, like, structures in the middle of fucking nowhere. I'm in the middle of fucking nowhere, like, thousands upon thousands of likes for something that I personally wouldn't use. I'm like, why, though? Am I, like, outside the, like, collective consciousness on how this works?
I don't know.
Like,
I think some people just, I think, they just, like, they see a thing, and that's clearly where they need to go, kind of attitude, maybe?
Yeah.
Other cases, I don't know. I think, because we've both checked this, I think some of this is just the way the game hands out likes automatically.
Oh, yeah, like, from what I can... Oh, God damn it, is that...
You looked this up on stream, and I looked this up on my end later. We had similar levels, or even you had, obviously being playing longer, have collected and given more likes than me.
Yeah.
But my give to get ratio is about 2 to 1 in favor of getting. However, I have about the same amount of manually awarded likes as you do.
Let me see here.
Which is both small.
Bridge links. Let me see here. Check you.
Because you'll look up the actual number. But the time that you were streaming, it was at like about, I want to say, 1,500 manual likes given to you by other players.
Okay, here it goes. Okay, so total likes from other players, I have received 155,182. Okay? But out of those that were given to me manually, 2,718.
Yeah, so you've been playing for a couple extra, you've been playing a little bit more than me, and you've only gained about 500.
Yeah. So, and just for, reference, total likes given to other players, I've given 175,391, but the ones that I've given manually 22,733.
Yes, you've given a lot more manual likes than you received, and like I said, you're still...
Yeah. Because that's the thing, like anytime, like, I use someone's, like, in some areas, you know, like, as I said, like, most, like, climbing anchors and ladders don't bother me for the most part. Unless you put it in, like, a really weird place.
Ladders are sometimes dumb.
Yeah. And I'm kind of like, why? Otherwise, I'm just like, whatever. Someone was exploring. Someone was trying to find a path. You know, that's what this game's fucking about. But if I use them myself, I'm like, I'm gonna spend a second here and I'm gonna mash my fucking touchpad. Make sure I can give them, like, as much like as possible and I go along my way. Mm-hmm. Apparently, this is not, like, my thing, or, like, I don't know, people, like, aren't seeing my structures, or they don't, because I do know
it could be that you are a little bit ahead of people. Some stuff is, like, some stuff doesn't spawn in until you unlock the ability to
yeah, I don't know.
It. And honestly, I don't know if some stuff spawns in at all. I haven't done a super hard survey, but I've had ziplines around for a while. I haven't seen any other players' ziplines, just Mama's and mine.
Yeah,
so I don't
ziplines
know.
Ziplines are kind of funny because sometimes they'll only spawn one of a player's zipline. I'm like, where does this go thow?
Yeah,
it goes nowhere.
Oh shit! Did this guy like leave the server region for a little bit to go get another PCC or something?
I don't know.
Networking being weird. Yeah, but the game's got a lot of those questions. Like I said, there's a lot of social experiment in this though.
Yeah, like
Kojima's doing some fucking science on your brain right now. You don't even know.
I don't know. I don't want to know. Ooh. But yeah. So like speaking of social experiments, yeah, it's definitely I do gripe that, you know, I can't just like make a connection, which is kind of weird because I don't know if, like, let me see here, how many fucking bridge links can I form right the fuck now? Where is that number?
Yeah, I gotta be honest, I don't feel like forming a bridge link or a contact with anybody.
I can make a strand contact with literally 30 other players right now. The fact that I can't pick any of my friends out of that 30 kind of annoys me. Yeah,
because I'm like, first of all, I don't like interacting with internet randos out of nothing, and that's what a bridge, you know, a strand contract is. It's just, oh hey, I found your cargo, or I used a structure of yours. You want to be internet friends? No, I don't think that's how that works.
No, it's really not. Especially since you don't often see, like, a lot of one player's characters unless you do form more connections with them. Because here's something else I found out interesting when I went over the falls. When you go to the Seam, which is the place you go when you die, you can interact with other characters and build stronger connections to them, so you can actually find
That's a
more
very
of their
interesting mechanic. But hey, guess what? I don't die.
Yeah, I go off cliffs a lot. I don't die in other means.
Honestly, and you... Listen, Sam's pretty tough. He can take some falls. BB will cry a lot, but you can stumble down some ravines. Trust me, I have fallen into ravines a lot. Like, you can...
Actually, I did die of, like, falling into the ravine once. That was, like, the third time I died. Yeah, I've died 4 times. Once was 5 minutes into the fucking game.
When you fell off a cliff.
Second time was the story mandated one. Third was I fell into a ravine by that mule camp you hate. Fourth time is I went over the fucking waterfall.
I did not.
Gravity is not my... No.
Yeah.
I am a god of combat, not of gravity. A great deliverer of combat. I will bring combat to
so
you.
Funny. Vesper, if you're listening to this, you just commented about the length of the chapters is variable, and you said that a single chapter could be a considerable chunk of gameplay. Yes, but no. In this case, we're talking about the transition from 4 to 5. You can do that in 5 minutes if you feel like it.
Can you actually do it in 5 minutes?
I'm pretty sure. Well, I don't know. So technically it's 4 is the boss fight. There might be a little bit of slowdown, but it's still, once you leave the scenario, like you're forced into a boss fight thing. Once you leave that, you can then instantly move into 5. So like,
oh yeah, because you just gotta go to
yeah, you just have to go to Mama. It's one scenario, and then as soon as you can leave it, you can go to the new chapter. There's nothing else in that chapter. That said, chapter 4 Unger is great.
Oh my god, Unger is so great.
So we'll talk about that now, I guess, because I wanted to for a while. But I was like, I knew this was Kojima. Right? It's a Kojima Productions game. I know he makes boss battles. We've already done some of them, you know, with the BT catchers and stuff, and it's kind of interesting. But I was not expecting a full blown Metal Gear Solid ass boss fight. This could not get more Metal Gear Solid. You are in a trench. It's World War I, it looks like, or Ghost World War I. I don't know, but you're in a boss arena. You're fighting a guy. He wanders around. You track him by footprints or by his weird on fire oil blood. And just, if he sees you, he shoots you. If you see him, you shoot him. He's got some mooks, and it's like, it reminds me so much of classical Metal Gear Solid stuff, and I'm just like, God bless you, Kojima. You managed to get this feel into an entirely different game, and it works.
Oh, yeah. Well,
the area is covered with fucking... And honestly, thinking about it, the box's theme is very Metal Gear, if you think about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, since Metal Gear Solid, there have been little weird floating boxes and tins full of gear forever.
Well, no, like, if you even think about it, if you look at the designs of all the items, it's fucking Metal Gear. It's the Metal Gear design philosophy.
That's the thing. It's still got Kojima's aesthetics.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad that he managed to keep a lot of his feels. Honestly, like, all the suits and costume design is very much him, too. Yeah. A lot of the character archetypes the same. I feel kind of bad for Die Hardman. He's stuck as the Colonel role, which means I want to fucking punch him a lot. Because he's the character who is saddled with the unfortunate job of talking about gameplay concepts to you. Which means he's the Navi type, so he's really annoying sometimes.
You need to make America whole. Let me tell you how to do this.
Sam, it goes without saying that shooting people is off the table, so please don't kill anyone. Okay, thanks, bye. Click. I'm like, I could have figured that out on my own. I don't know. Apparently Death Stranding has gotten some mixed responses in America, as might be expected. So I don't know, maybe some players are like, woo, gotta kill those terrorists, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Why can't I hold two? I have two hands, why can't I hold two guns? Which is not how this game works, that's bad. Don't kill that many people. That said, I really wanted to see if I could smuggle that fucking nuke into one of the mule camps. But I decided to throw it away like a good boy. But, yeah, it's just, I don't know. But yes, I feel bad for Die Hardman as a character, because unfortunately any benefits of his character are lost by the fact that he's the tutorial voice. Let's see, other characters. Deadman and Hartman are alright. Okay, I was just talking about Hartman and Deadman. My Luckster. Hold on, Lucky's muted right now. He's trying to figure some stuff out. Yeah, we could make the joke. I think I said it off mic, but audience, I was making a joke about how Lucky ghosted for a second there, and he had to repatriate, as opposed to come back from the negative dimension. Now Lucky is really repatriated. He got a phone call from Die Hardman. had to put me on hold. Yeah, so I was talking about Hartman and Deadman, who are I think you said that you can meet Hartman later. Like,
well, I found his fucking
direction. Yeah, okay.
I found his fucking lab. He has a fucking hot spring. This guy has a... Okay, so, I'm, like, slight spoilers. Because here's one of the themes I've discovered of Death Stranding. It's fucking personification. And so, a thing that you'll notice is a lot of people have names either about their location or about their job.
Right. People at Bridges facilities have full names, but they're stuff like Jake Wind,
who works at the wind farm, or
Sutherland.
Alex Weatherstone, who works at the weather station.
Yeah.
Like Sutherland, guy who works at the South Distribution Center. Yeah, so when you see Hartman, I think, maybe it's because he has to do with, spoilers, the fucking AED he does that deals with life or fucking death. No, well, it could be it, but no, it's just because he lives off the literal fucking heart-shaped lake in the fucking mountains.
That's pretty funny. But also, yes, if you paid attention to, like, pre-roll stuff, Hartman is alive only 20 minutes a day. Or something.
Well, no, not 20 minutes a day,
20
but
minutes
like...
time.
Yeah, 20 minutes at a time. It's like 20 minutes up, something so long down. I don't know. But yeah, no, like, I discovered that because, I was, at the, weather station, I was looking at the mountain, I was all like, fuck that mountain, I'm gonna climb that mountain.
And I you just found him up in the woods. Great.
Yeah.
But well, so you can meet a lot of these characters, like, you meet...
Well, here's the thing, I found other preppers, too, like, I found the quote-unquote veteran porter, I found a mountaineer, I found a photographer, I found Hartman's lab, and I found the roboticist. I can't interact with any of them.
They're probably network nodes you need to do.
Yeah, or something. So I was just
where after you do Mama's thing, she has a concern that your Cupid is fucked up.
Yeah.
So she swaps him, but she's like, I only did the hardware, you gotta go find the software chick. Is she up in Mountain Knot City, I think is what Mama said?
Yeah.
Something like that. So it's like, and Die Hardman's like, just go ahead and connect everybody, Sam, we'll fix it later with a post-game patch, and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna...
I know that there is a fork on the highway that goes that direction, so
Mhm.
I'm gonna build that road.
Yeah, the slight spoiler: the girl who told you to fuck off was that girl.
Oh,
So I'm like-
interesting. So she's
so I'm
mad
like-
about stuff. Okay.
Yeah, she's mad about stuff. I won't get into why she's mad about stuff, but she's
No,
mad
it'll
about
come
stuff.
out. It'll all come out, but it's probably because it's a very interesting thing. This game talks about themes of like connection and disconnection a lot, right? Like we already talked about it a little. The junk dealer misses this girl. He thinks she's dead. She's not dead. She comes back to him. They get married. Then like 5 minutes later, he's like, "Oh man, being married's tough," which it would be for the post-apocalypse civilization because shit's weird.
Well, yeah, a lot of people.
There's even an interview about how a lot more people are asexual.
Yep.
Which I know some people have been, to throw back to our Kona Super conversation earlier, some people have been like, gasp, cancel Kojima, he said asexual people are evil. No,
Like,
I'm
what?
pretty sure Hideo Kojima is from a country with a dramatically declining birth rate who are going to be extinct in 100 years. And also, he's right. Unfortunately, asexuals, nothing against you, but if you're the only people left in a post-apocalyptic future, we're fucked, or you're gonna have to get over it. It's like people were complaining about Darling in the Franxx. It's like, oh, gosh, they want our children to be heteronormative. I'm like, no, Japan has a birth rate problem, you assholes. And once it's about the younger generation learning how to grow up and take care of themselves again. Like, stop applying your modern frame of mind to America, which has a healthy birth rate, probably not because of you. It's because of people like not to dob on or anything, but my eldest sister does have like 5 kids, and yes, they are religious. So she's keeping that growth rate a net positive. But yeah, so again, like we said this earlier, we can't control what you find like if something disturbs or upset you. I can see how that feels kind of like somebody's taking a personal shot, but also think about what themes and stuff other people are like. Don't make it all about you. Think about what other people are dealing with too.
Mm-hmm.
That makes them say those things. So no, Japan is in a really weird place right now, and they keep making media about it, but all the West can do is complain about how you're not Western enough, I guess.
I guess.
But yeah, so but there's a lot of like almost tsundere-ness to this connections thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you'll go from characters like, some are casual, they're just like, I don't want to be part of the UCA, just sign me up to your network. And then you deliver them like 2 crates of underwear and some beer or something, and they're like, fuck, sign me up for America. No, it's a little bit silly if you think about it, like, because deliveries can be anything, and they're like themed, obviously, like, the cosplayer ships out a lot of high quality underwear. I guess because she's the only one with a sewing kit left. But still, But there's stuff like that. So they turn very fast to join you. Some people are like the junk dealer who's like, Porters suck, America sucks, you suck, I fucking hate you, die. And then you deliver him the package he wants, and he's like, gasp, I never knew I could do this joy in life. Hug me, Sam. I'm like, no, I don't hug people.
Oh, that reminds me. If there's something I do need to get from this game, I've a question you asked a while ago is, how does the baby give me fucking likes? And I figured it out. All he has to do is give you the thumbs up, because apparently that's the fucking hand gesture you do.
It's adorable. The little fucker can do a thumbs up too, can't he? I love BB so much.
Like,
He's
see,
my
here's the thing,
precious
because I
child.
thought about that because speaking of the junk dealer and the Kyle artist, like, when you leave from that quest line, she gives you the double thumbs up, and it actually goes,
and you get
and then-
2 likes from her? Cool.
yeah. And then you give her the thumbs back up, and you just go, right back. So it's like, that's literally what it is. You give someone a thumbs up, and it's like the fucking currency activation sign.
It's layers within layers, Lucky. But yeah, so that's pretty funny. But yes, by the way, BB can give you likes if you didn't know, and it's pretty funny. Yeah. I first learned this by playing harmonica for him.
Mm-hmm.
But still, yes. But yeah, so there are loads of people who are like, and it's because of terrorism. It's literally because of terrorism, because Higgs is an asshole, and he doesn't want America to be whole, because he's crazy. He talks about how he found somebody who completed him, which is why he's so nuts, and I don't know what that is yet. I'm expecting there'll be like Chapter 9 Higgs or something later, and we'll unpack whatever the fuck his problem is.
There's gonna be a trail at someone before me at some point. I already know this. There's gotta be.
But yeah, we're gonna unpack whatever the fuck is wrong with him at some point. But
I hope.
So we'll see what that is. But yeah, so it's a weird thing. But he has actually used terrorism to instill fear in people because he's an asshole. He nukes cities.
He nuked one city and almost nuked another.
Mm-hmm.
He still got like half of it though.
Yeah, the city's pretty fucked up. But yeah, so there's a lot of shenanigans going on with Higgs and stuff. So like, I understand why people are scared. Oh no, X. When we talked about Unger, that's Mads. That's a boss fight with Mads. That's all it is. Him and his fucking ghost army, and I love it so much. It's so cool. And he has Metal Gear style ambient dialogue where he's just wandering around muttering stuff like, "BB, I can't remember," and I'm like, "Oh, it's so good." And it's replayable too. You can go back there.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I was like, ooh. They call it nightmares and memories. I'm just like, ooh.
Yeah. Because nobody knows where the fuck you went. You went somewhere.
I like how like Mama was all like, it's only like been less than a fucking minute. The storm's gone randomly. He's like, no, I was gone for like 8 hours. You're crazy. Then you go to the map and it's like, okay, this is crazy, but you're not. Because your cufflinks literally recorded like all the gunfire and
she's like, alright, so good news, Sam, you're not crazy, but whatever the fuck happened to you is. Also, I don't think Mama should be calling me shit out on crazy stuff happening to me, okay?
Yeah.
She has a weird story.
Mama has some kettle black shit going on there.
Yeah, I like Mama, but also she's sassy, which I appreciate some of the time, but sometimes she's a little too sassy to me, you know? She like sassed my fucking BB, and I'm like,
excuse you, this is my precious child. This is my precious child. Do you know the shit we have gone through together?
Well, listen, I know you've got your own weird child issues with your literal ghost baby,
she's just mad her ghost baby can't give her likes. Because that's what you need in life, apparently.
I don't know, maybe the ghost baby could. It still has thumbs.
Is it hooked up to the network?
Good question. I don't know. She has a special order direct to sense it.
Yeah.
Which is cool. But no, she gets a little saucy with you at times, and I'm just like, woman, do you know what I have done? I know, obviously, you said you can't leave because you have the thing. And her, apparently BTs are linked to the location where they died. Which is probably why the game doesn't want you to cause more void outs, because that's just more territory we can't get back. For a while anyway, I guess. I don't know. But, so she can't leave because, whatchamacallit, her baby is a BT now. She was in a hospital waiting to give birth. There was the terrorist attack. She was trapped under the rubble. Her baby came out a ghost, I guess?
I don't know. I mean, usually you only get a cesarean section where there's going to be complications with the childbirth, so...
Yeah, so it didn't go out well. Somehow she lived through all that drinking water. How she didn't get time tongue, I don't know, I guess.
Well, no, I don't know. From what I understand, timefall, as soon as it hits something, it loses its effect.
Yeah, I guess. The chronological energy bleeds out into whatever it touches, but yeah. So she survived for a while down there with her ghost baby, but now she, as she said, she's never been discharged. She can't leave the physical location where her baby died, so it's anchored to her, but she's anchored to it, and it goes both ways. And also, maybe the beach wants the baby back, I don't know. That was really creepy. There's some shit going on, but also, she takes her blood and is sassy about it, and I'm like, I want Sam to be like, hey, you and your ghost baby should be careful of my blood, because BTs don't like it, so don't accidentally poison your ghost baby.
Oh, Sam was a little sassy. He's like, yeah, sure, it's not like you bleed me dry every night.
She's like, yeah, thanks, doing your part. But no, I wanted to not be sassy back, but to be like, no, my blood's special, and that BTs fucking hate it, so be careful. But I guess you know that, because Mama describes all your... She's your tech codec call. Whenever you find a new piece of technology, you hear her special call, which I like, that everybody's got a different signal. So you hear her... Sam, this is a gun that shoots blood. Shoot it at BTs to make them angry with blood. And I'm like, okay, thanks, Mama.
Blood gun.
Gun. Blood. Blood gun. Commence package delivery. Actually, it's funny. We're, as of the time we're recording it, it's 15th anniversary of Snake Eater, I believe.
Yeah.
Which is that's in reference to a Hi, I'm Daisy comic about Metal Gear Solid 3.
Mm-hmm. And CQC.
Always remember the basics of CQC. But yeah, so I like Mama, but also she gets a little sassy with you. But I think in general, as a character who calls you a lot, she's okay, right? Like she
good support staff.
Yes, she gives you good information on stuff, as opposed to like we said, Die Hardman's often stuck telling you shit you already know. But yeah, so that Mama's the chapter right after Unger, which, like I said, that's just, I love that so much, and I want to know what the fuck is going on there, because clearly he has some kind of high-ass level dooms, because he can summon ghost soldiers.
He can summon cigarettes and light them.
Yeah. Which, honestly, that's not crazy, because, another Kojima-ism, zero shifting, Fragile and Higgs, we already know can do it.
Mm.
So, maybe he's at such a high level he can move inanimate objects, because Fragile can only move you and anything basically worn on your person, or things you really care about. So, like, your shoes and your backpack stay. Anything that's in your pack, fuck it. Anything that's in your utility pouch, fuck it.
Interestingly enough, your exoskeleton goes with you.
It's because it's stuck to your body, I think.
I guess.
Not that exoskeletons aren't great. Power exoskeleton for life! Yes, I love being able to carry 350 kilograms. But yeah, so there's, like I said, there's this interesting almost tsundariness to a lot of characters. So, now, some people are like, fuck yeah, sign me up, do the thing! Usually those guys work for Bridges already, so I guess they're kind of enthusiastic. But I think, like, Kojima's trying to say stuff, because it's like, on the one hand, bonds are cool. You get a lot of good shit out of existing in a society, talking to people, sharing information. But also, it is scary. Like, it's scary being out in the public and socializing with people. It's hard sometimes.
Actually, you should read some of the interviews from like players, like as they talk about their experiences. Like the Collector talks about how his father used to run a magazine, but when the internet came, physical print media started going on the decline, and he wasn't sure how he felt, and he didn't like how that made him feel, and he felt that the UCA and Bridges were going to kind of do that same thing of just push everything else out for whatever was good and new. I mean, you eventually win them over, but it's like
the film director's similar. He's not sure about it at first, but then you plug him in, and he's like, oh shit, you guys have old movies on here.
Yeah. Like the Elder.
That's the thing. People have to think about it. Like, some of them just want to become clients. They just want to be able to talk to people, and access maybe printing. But others are like, no, sign me up. I want to get the full service. I want to share information. I want to be able to be other places. Because that's a really interesting thing. Mama's in the Central region, and so is Hartman, apparently. But you are able to see their chirograms earlier because they have archived data. Though, I will say this about Mama. It's weird that she doesn't think about that something weird could go on with time in a chiral storm, because that's what chiralium does.
Yeah, it fucks with time.
So I'm like, nobody's willing to believe that maybe I went back in time or something? But then she actually scans you and she's like, oh, you're not crazy. And Die Hardman's like, we'll look this up and research this, and we'll find where and when you went. And I'm like,
continue making America whole, Sam.
In the meantime, keep doing America stuff. And also, don't worry about Amelie yet. It's not dramatically appropriate to worry about her yet.
I am sus as fuck, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, Higgs is gonna do something about that. Though, also, I don't know... Did we have a chapter for Amelie? That was 2, wasn't it? Or 3?
Yeah.
It was 2, I think.
Wasn't our prologue... Yeah. Our prologue was Porter.
No.
Or was it just prologue?
Prologue was Porter. 1 was Bridget, basically, Strand. And then I think 2 was Amelie. 3 is Fragile. 4 is Unger. 5 is Mama. And neither of us have seen what 6 is yet.
Nope.
6. Hartman. If the last one isn't chapter whatever, I think somebody said they were 10. If it's not either Sam or America, I'm gonna be upset.
We're talking about
or maybe that's the epilogue. Epilogue, America.
We're talking about personification. That's I don't
You're
think
literally getting stars. If there are not 50 stars, I will be disappointed.
Yeah, you could just be a personification for Uncle Motherfucking Sam.
Right. I mentioned that earlier. I was like,
yeah, you did.
God damn it, Kojima, you did it. You got me. I didn't even think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, yes, I think I was just looking over the thing, and Axe posted a message earlier. I was talking about this with the asexual thing. Death Stranding is a very weirdly sexless game. Because, Sam is not interested in any of that shit, because he's... not that I don't know if he's got a sex drive, he's just literally phobic about touching.
Mm-hmm. Seems to put on a kibosh in any sort of relationship.
Yeah. Mama at least had a kid, but I don't know. It's probably with those, sperm and egg samples you transport around.
Yeah,
So-
apparently that's how they solve those problems. Just like, just fertilization.
But no, it is compared to how a lot of people think that Kojima's got a little bit of the horny energy himself, which is true. There is some of that, but it is much more about relationships between people necessarily than complicating it with sexy pants stuff. Though also Snake was honestly a little bit of a sexless character a lot too.
But he was still a pervert.
Right. He had desires, as you could do stuff with magazines, but he was too busy for a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Especially Naked Snake Big Boss.
Yeah, I mean, you actually had to point this out to me. He, like, every love interest he can potentially have gets fucking deaded or stolen away by a supporting character.
Yeah. I don't know if he can't, but I think that Kojima definitely wants to write about nukes more.
Yeah,
Nukes very, very bad. He's been doing this several decades. He's still not over it. They're still bad. But yeah, so in general, I think there's you see a lot of these interesting themes, and they're really good. It's a very thematic game, and some people are like, "Is it too on the nose?" But then it's like, I don't know if it's on the nose or just we're picking up what he's putting down. Because like I didn't catch the Uncle Sam thing right away. But then like, oh shit, his name is Sam, and he's America, Uncle Sam, duh.
Mm-hmm.
And then some are spelled out, but at the same time, those are like layers you can expect. Like, Amelie explains the whole strand thing. It's like, a strand binds things together, but stranding, means dying, and stranded means you can't go home. And I'm like, alright. On the one hand, that kind of layers, makes sense, but also, we have to remember, as much as this game has a lot of American, English-speaking people in it, and the English script is pretty good, it was still written by a Japanese guy, and I don't know how good his English is, like, on a functional level, so... Like, I don't think I've ever seen him speak in interviews in English.
I know he can speak some English. I don't know if he can speak full English, though.
Yeah, he understands some, but I don't know if he's a fluent speaker, so...
I mean, he talks about, like, hanging out with, like, a bunch of people. I don't know if he just has a permanent...
I mean, he has a personal assistant who follows him everywhere. They might...
Yeah. Because
so
I was actually reading an interview with Mads Mikkelsen and how it talks about he hangs out with Kojima when they're ever in the same
I bet they do, that's because first of all, Mads, great performance all the time. He's bringing his fucking A game to this. But like I think that in general he seems like he's a cool dude who's just down for projects. Kojima also seems like he's just a fun guy where he's just like fucking Conan rolls up to his place and Kojima's like, "Hey, Conan, you want to be in the game?" And he is. And he gave me the otter hat.
Makes otter
hood,
fun.
Technically. But I put it on because it's great.
You become one with the water and don't have to worry about drowning so much.
Yes.
So much.
You don't have to worry about over paddling. You'll do 6 spins so you don't fall in. And also I think your like paddle power is increased.
Yeah. And
It's
your
a lot
BB
easier
doesn't
to move
fucking
in the water.
panic.
Oh, and your BB loves it. Like your BB hates being submerged, but if you go for a swim, he loves it. The BB likes to go fast.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you slam a car into full speed, BB loves it. You go on a zipline, BB loves it. You fall down a cliff, you trip, you stub your toe on a rock. But yeah, so Kojima seems like he's cool to hang out with, but he's still a Japanese guy, presumably writing in his native language, so...
Yeah.
I don't know how obvious that was in Japanese to spell out synonyms or homonyms technically, because they mean different things but sound similar, in English to people. Because is that a direct one-to-one in Japanese? I bet not.
Probably not.
So, yeah.
I don't know. I would imagine that Kojima would have actually, like, collaborated, because, especially since this game is, like very America-focused, you know? I don't know, maybe... I mean, especially since, like...
He worked a lot, like I said, with a lot of, like, Hollywood and TV people.
Do I have enough fucking crystals for this? God, I hope so.
Crystals.
Yeah, I do. Well, let's see. Yeah, I'm building my next. I'm putting in my next row piece, and I had to just dump 1,269 crystals into the structure.
It's a lot of crystals, dude. Luckily, you could farm them because, at least with I don't think grenades replenish. Those are one and done. But another reason why I like the handgun is they reload. Guns reload. So.
Oh, I just do a fucking couple deliveries to the craft man. He gives me fucking custom hermetic grenades.
That's also a good way to do it. Yeah, but if you need to farm Corellium crystals, you can literally shoot them up with your blood and then be like, okay, I'm gonna go take a nap now, and you'll recover most of it. That's a good way to farm. Though if you really want to farm, obviously you need to get some bosses. Which, if I have to do any big farming, which I think I do, I got a couple of like high level chiralium spots that need it. That and ceramics, which is something I'm constantly running out of. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know what the big deal of needing like specifically ceramics, but I don't know. These roads seem to be made out of some alien tar-like substance that probably isn't asphalt.
Yeah,
and tar.
it's metals and ceramic is a very broad term. I don't think asphalt counts as a ceramic, but it's also weird. So
yeah,
I don't know. There's fucking chiralium in it, so it's fucking time tar or whatever.
Time tar.
Chiralium is pretty BS.
It's nanomachines,
although the junk
son.
dealer gave me my first chiral ladder, custom chiral ladder, and I'm like, ooh, shiny. When will I ever decide I need to use this?
Oh, actually, if you're only mentioning that, if you do deliveries to the chiral artist's mother, she gives you chiral boots.
Oh yeah, that's right. She's the boots. Okay, I'll keep that in mind with her. I'm trying to focus on my road run, but then I'm going to take care of, before I move on to the mountain knot direction, I'm going to max star everybody in the current region so I can get that out of the way and get all their fun tchotchkes.
I do enjoy fun tchotchkes.
I do love that every relationship you build with everybody is unique, right? Like, there's a reason to do it besides just stars. Like, everybody does this, they have different stuff to you, whether it's like, getting the cosplayer, I think, to 3 stars gave me the extra utility pouch you can put on your backpack.
Mm-hmm. 4 or 5 gets you the large grenade pouch.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember which one.
When you unlock the weather station the first time, you can actually predict the weather, which is cool. I don't know what he does later because I haven't worked on it. He's kind of up in the mountains. It's a little slow go.
He gave me a Terra Bozu. I remember. I don't know if
that's
he
right.
gave me
He gives you the charm, which can reduce the damage that Timefall does. The collector, for instance, gives you the levels of the backpack protector.
Yeah,
which is great because that's always really annoying when you're like, oh, I've lost 1% of this cargo because of Timefall. Though I do appreciate that Timefall shelters heal that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because there's container damage and then there's cargo damage.
Yeah, so only once you get all the way through the container does the cargo get damaged, but the cargo damage never goes away. You can only repair the containers.
Yeah.
And, like, as we said with the physics, you can get some really weird inertias and stuff where your cargo will freak out a little, like a sudden stop or something. Also, on the one hand, I get what Kojima's going for, but sometimes controlling Sam in motion is a little annoying. It's just like, it should... I'm used to games when you stop input, you just stop. And it's like, Death Stranding's not like that. You have to, like, actively catch your balance, or you have to, like, pull back and be like, no, Sam, move backwards. But I feel like it's weird how, like, Sam can't take care of himself in that way. Like, you, the player, have to do it for him. I'm mostly over most of it. Honestly, we talked about it being game of hubris earlier. Like, a lot of it is just me being too cocky.
Mm-hmm.
Though, yes, what can set you off is just, like, if you dead sprint and you happen to cross a piece of terrain that rises, like, half a foot. Oh, you stumbled. That's not how people actually work. We're very sure-footed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's a little annoying sometimes, but whatevers. So I have to ship my chair back. I lost part of my earbud.
Oh.
Which means I can't put it in my ear.
Oh, no!
But yeah, so we're getting close to 3 hours. Do we have any more characters or themes stuff we want to talk about? Any, like, interesting missions you think we should talk about? We, like, talked about the nuke stuff. Talk about Higgs.
I talked about Higgs. I talked about the Animator bombs. Oh! I do remember. There's one thing that I think is really sorely missing from this game, and it bugs me to no fucking end.
What is it?
Why can't I have an on-the-road music player?
Yes, I also... I hate that. I hate that music players are only in rooms.
Yeah. Like I am literally spending, like, I won't say, like,
also,
hours.
Well, maybe we'll get it later at a later character. It's not the musician, because I've maxed his ass out, but...
Yeah, he gave you music and a harmonica.
He gives you a harmonica, but maybe somebody will give us a Walkman later.
Yeah, like,
this is a Sony finance project. You feel like there wouldn't be some product placement? I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure I've read some articles about people who feel like there's too much product placement in this game.
And to them I say, you have never played a Kojima game before. This is how he operates. Does he like, I bet Kojima likes Monster Energy drinks. I know he likes Low Roar, which is why he's put one of basically their entire albums in this game. That's just how he operates. Kojima just likes shit, and he puts it in his games. He either likes motorcycles or did some research on it. Though I will say, we talked about Mama earlier. I love that she loves motorcycles. That's her thing. That's her special, because every character likes a different memory chip data. Deadman collects what are they called? Is it frame arms? But I'm snapping my fingers. He collects mecha figurines. Yeah, we were talking about how different characters collect different things from memory data.
Yeah, and like I'm hoping like I get some to play music or something, because I think that'd be cool. Like, because this is definitely a game, like even like out of game, you want to put on music or maybe a podcast and deliver and chill.
Well, so and also since Metal Gear Solid 4, that's been a thing.
Oh yeah.
Where you could just with MGS4 it was the iPod, and in 5 it was the Walkman. It was a literal Walkman.
Mm-hmm.
You could listen to music tracks, and so they were. You can still collect them already. So I'm like, yeah, a mobile player would be nice. Just like put it in your cosmetic attitude. Or Lucky, do you have the bottom D-pad thing yet?
No.
Okay,
actually.
I still don't know what that does then. There's a whole menu that's X'd out, so I'm assuming there's something that goes in the bottom D-pad, and I don't know what it is yet.
Well, I do know that
it's not wearables and it's not healables.
Excuse you, terrorist. You're about to get fucking bullied. And he's down! Aren't I outside your territory? Oh, no, I'm not. I'm still barely in it. God damn it. But, yeah, so it's just like one of those things. Like, there's a lot of times where I'm just driving along the road and I just hear nothing. And I'm just like, Sometimes I hear Sam talking to the BB. I think my favorite one is like, hey, you want to switch? And I hang out in the pond for a few miles. I was like,
oh, I haven't heard that one yet. I know some classy ones. There's, like, he talks to the vehicles a lot. Like, there you go, Speed Demon. Or, hey, you're on electric fire right now. How do you feel?
Oh, no, oh, man. When I don't know if these are unique, but when you get on the custom ride, it's like, fuck yeah, man, this ride should be on Ride with Norman Reedus. Or,
of course it does.
And another one was like, yeah, this bike is so cool, Norman Reedus. I'm all like, this product placement is so blatant and kind of fucking hilarious.
But also that's interesting that that's a thing we get from a memory chip, so maybe we get more in there. But yeah, I'd love a music player too, because sometimes music plays specifically for certain missions, but still that's not controllable.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love a music player to be out there.
Yeah.
I would say the thing that I feel like I want is a fucking flamethrower, but that's for very different reasons.
That's how you make BTs, fucker.
Not if I burn them.
I guess that's true. Why haven't people done that then?
I don't know. I mean, it is a lot of work to actually burn a body, but there's fucking flying roads and stuff. Do you have Valkyria Chronicles? Give me a Chiralium flamethrower. It'd be gold. No, honestly, Kojima's probably like, no war crimes.
Yeah. I don't know, we're not a fucking nation. Are we still entitled to the fucking Geneva Convention? I don't fucking know.
That's true, Axe. I don't know. There should be an incendiary grenade. There's white phosphorus in Metal Gear Solid 4. And you will fuck some people's shit up with that.
Willie Pete's.
Because it's a big, wide area of just fire. Those guys are fucked. I wonder if we'll ever get... Because you can view weapons. I wonder... That's the thing I kind of miss about 4. Because 5 didn't go back to the... 5 went to the Peace Walker-style upgrade trees. Something I miss from 4 is literal weapon customization. Like, your M4 custom and stuff like that.
No, from what I can tell, is just when you get higher levels, you get upgrades on top of it.
So it's the Peace Walker system. Honestly, from a design standpoint, Kojima probably found that easier. To be like, if it just gets better, it gets more features.
Mm-hmm.
But that is also a Kojima-ism that's been in since Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, where just, like, oh, you have a level 1 handgun. Oh, now you've done the research for your level 2 handgun. It has an extended magazine.
Yeah, like, from what I can tell, like, I can, like, mention the assault rifle up on the top of my head. Like, assault rifle level 1, you know your basic stuff. Level 2 gives you the hermetic rounds, more ammo, and a sight on top. Level 3 gives you a sound suppressor.
Have you found any scopes? Because that's a thing I feel like I miss. I'd love to aim down sights, which is usually a thing you can do in Metal Gear, but I haven't figured out.
Yeah, no, there's no, like, first-person perspective. Well, there is, but it's, like, when you're in that scanny fucking thing, compass, so I don't... Mode. Yeah, there's no, like, look down the fucking iron, your Bola gun.
I'd love to. I don't know, give me my Mosin Nagant again, Kojima. I'll do that. I'll fucking sit on a hill and harmonica to myself while I make people pass out. BB like that.
That'll do.
Also,
baby. That'll do.
it's interesting. Did you catch that? What Sam whistles is the lullaby Mads was singing to BB.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's the same tune.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm not sure if I can actually play the harmonica well enough to actually get the full tune, or if I'm not doing it right. I don't know.
I think he just plays a few bars, and if you keep tapping it, he mostly makes the right sounds. I don't think it's very technical, but I'm not sure.
Okay, I'm not sure either.
But yes, no, I've caught him whistling a harmonica a couple times. And I'm like, wait, isn't that? No, that's, And yes, I whistled on air. I'm sorry, but
it didn't sound that bad to me.
No, I don't think it was that. I can hear myself, so I don't think it was. It was probably a little sharp, but we're gonna normalize. But yeah, so it's the same as Mads. The day is ending. It's got the same tune, and I'm like, dude, what? That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. It's no quiet humming though.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Sam will, if you have the harmonica equipped, or if not, I think he'll just whistle. But he will totally just, puff a couple, bars out as you wander around if your harmonica's on. That's one thing I don't like though, is that if it's just, I think it's if you rest, you reset all your cosmetics because he takes them all off, obviously. And I'm just like, that's a little annoying. You got to reset literally everything.
Yeah,
they're fun though. Hat, 2 kinds of sunglasses because Kojima understands his fucking merch branding. That's the real Japanese superpower, is figuring out how to turn brands into everything. Like, we know this from Fate. There's fucking FGO glasses frames and luggage in Japan. And Death Stranding is no different, where it's like Sam, the sunglasses. I bet you can get like Deadman and Hartman glasses frames and shit.
I wonder. I don't know. I'll find out after I finish building this fucking road.
Well, yeah, so if we don't have, we could probably talk a lot about it, but I think we got our core points. What we love, what we don't love as much.
Yeah.
What we just accept.
Like right now, I can tell this game is a solid 9 out of 10 for me.
And I think it's meant to be that way. I think it's meant to be an experience you cannot just relax and be perfect at. Or if it is, you have to get way farther in the game. Because, as much as we hate, why are there 2 BTs stuck right together here? Why are there so many fucking rocks here? Why does it take so many resources to build this road? It's intentional. It's supposed to be a challenge so that you feel good when you deliver packages. It's not supposed to ever be completely easy, or if it is, it's satisfyingly easy because you worked your ass off to get there,
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that's the point. It's not supposed to be perfectly relaxed. It's just, God, that's really frustrating sometimes. I still haven't gone back to the first map and tried to do any deliveries to
Premium?
Portnut? Yeah. I haven't gone back yet to do that. Because I don't think I completed my Portnut or my wind farm to 3 to 5 stars because it's hard. There's a lot of terrain in your way and a lot of BTs. Now I have my anti-BT gun, so maybe I'll just park my fucking bike and just shoot them off. Bit. But yeah. So we're at over 3 hours, but we're gonna edit some of that out because you ghosty gooed a couple times.
Yes, I did. But yeah, I'll keep my mouth shut.
But yeah, so I was just gonna say, do we wanna? I don't know. We're ending. I probably shouldn't spice you up. I could spice you very easily because we could talk about a game that released. But we're towards the end, so neither of us are getting Pokemon right away.
Oh yeah, no.
So
I'm not gonna. I got nothing to say about it really.
Yeah, okay. So we'll just say we're not gonna get into it.
Yeah.
Some people have complaints. Some people don't. We leave you to enjoy it. If you enjoy it, if you don't, if you were mad about it beforehand, please don't tell me you bought it because that's not how you fix those things. But anyway.
Yeah.
We'll have more opinions later when we get to it because apparently Fallen Order doesn't suck. So
yeah,
I'm gonna be excited to personally get into that one after I do Death Stranding, or maybe I don't know. Maybe Death Stranding will kick my ass and I have to take a break and I'll do that too. But whatever.
Yeah,
it's supposedly still a little bit short, which is sad. But
yeah, apparently a guy beat it in one night. So
it's apparently lightsaber Dark Souls or lightsaber Sekiro. So I'm like, dude, whatever. I'll go for that.
Oh yeah.
That was a good genre to emulate, so... alright, we'll leave you guys off then. Hope you enjoyed our... I think that was a solid hour and a half of Death Stranding.
Sounds about right.
So, yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Keep an eye out for Let's Talk FGO coming back. Or check out our previous episode if you haven't already. Look out for more What's Up coming. And there'll be some other videos on stuff. I honestly don't know if Lucky will stream Death Stranding when, but sometimes he feels like it, sometimes he doesn't.
Yep.
So keep an eye out for though you have done it 4 times of decent length. So
yep.
If you guys are interested and you want to go back and see some of those things, go for it. They're all still archived. So outro. If you watch this video on YouTube, be sure to give us a like. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section down below. Or join us on our Discord. That link is in the description, or on our channel page. You can talk to other people playing Death Stranding, not as far as Lucky and me, about stuff. And, of course, if you're new here and haven't already, please subscribe to the channel so you can keep up with our latest videos, and considering that bell for notifications, so you can always know when we post a new video, or if Lucky decides to stream randomly one evening, because I'm like, Lucky, you should stream more, and he's like, oh, fine.
I do
Talking about Sundari connections. And, of course, like it says at the front of the show, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to episodes early in audio format for as little as $1 a month. And it really helps us out, and you can get lots of other fun stuff, like listen to the show live, shoutouts, stuff like that. It's really great. All right, so we will see you next time with your package.
Lucky Beastman, out.